The first thing the main character did after being reborn was to invert all his class skills. All because the MC obtained the world's cheat system, which could invert all the effects and functions of class skills. When the spatial gate is opened around the world, countless monsters from another world invaded human cities. Any human who came into contact with the secret realms could obtain the power of a class. After that, humanity relied on a legion of professionals to conquer the secret realms, and the MC, as the legion's captain, had conquered countless secret realms, even stepping into the most dangerous SSS-Rank secret realm. But the joy of victory was cut short by betrayal. The imperial royal family feared the MC's power, because a powerful professional could easily change the social order. And the MC, who had surpassed SSS-Rank, was the most dangerous existence of all. Luo Wei, who had once gone through life and death with the MC, the one the MC trusted with his back, his brother in arms, had secretly poisoned the MC's armor. Luo Wei's cold voice, and the images of his fallen comrades. The MC's consciousness gradually faded to black. In that critical moment, the mirror world system activated. The MC's soul sank deep into the river's bottom. He slept for 66 years, until this day. A teenager was being tied up by some thugs on the riverbank. Eventually, the boy was thrown into the river. Why do they always bully me before he died? The boy's hatred awakened the MC. A second later, the MC's soul entered the boy's body. Then the entire river's surface began to glow. The thugs were instantly scared and ran away, because at that moment a new secret realm had unexpectedly appeared. And a new secret realm was not something they could handle. Only one of them, a boy with glasses, hesitated for a moment. He gritted his teeth, wanting to go back and save him. But by the time he ran to the riverbank, the secret realm had already fully formed. A second later, monsters from the secret realm swarmed out. The MC on this side had just awakened and was about to use a killing move, but a green ray of light shot down, healing the monster instead. This made Four Eyes think the MC was an idiot. He couldn't believe he was actively giving HP to the monster. The MC looked at his system in deep thought. I almost forgot. This isn't my real body. Logically speaking, every person who comes into contact with a secret realm will be bound to the system and also receive their first class. And the MC's class was focused on enhancement, maximizing a warrior's attributes. Back then, before he died, he seemed to have used a skill called mirror inversion. After that, he was always trapped in the mirror world, until he heard that boy's scream. So it's possible the MC was resurrected by borrowing his body. But the original owner's body is really weak. Plus, it awakened a support class. Its specialty is support. In every other aspect, it's inferior to combat classes. The MC's eyes continued to scan the system interface. Maybe these skills will have some effect. The MC tried it on a monster, but the system notified him of failure. Then, he tried it on his reflection in the water's mirrored surface. The system no longer reported failure, but notified him that his current level was insufficient. This matched what the MC was thinking. Mirror inversion can only be used on a mirrored surface to be activated. So the MC then pointed towards the reflection on the weapon the monster was using. The system again reported an insufficient level. Just when Four Eyes couldn't hold on any longer, a ray of light shot up from the ground. A large figure gradually appeared. A super elite monster appeared. Four Eyes felt complete despair, because this monster required at least a level 10 professional to be dealt with. Looks like they were dead for sure this time. The MC appeared right after. He then used the mirror inversion skill on Four Eyes' shield. Ping cannot perform skill inversion on others. The MC understood immediately. The MC instantly changed the target to his own skill. Vine control, mirror world inversion. Ping. Skill inverted into chaotic thorn bush. Instantly, countless thorny vines erupted from the ground and frantically wrapped around, blocking the monster's path. And then a bizarre scene occurred. The elite monster's eyes suddenly turned red. Then it changed direction, turned around, and pounced on its own kind. Its long claws suddenly tore its fellow monster to shreds. A second later, the secret realm was filled with agonizing roars and the sounds of fighting. Four Eyes stared blankly at this scene, completely bewildered. Just a moment ago, the MC was clearly helping them by increasing their HP, and in a flash he made this pack of monsters turn on each other. It was a bloodbath. At this moment, the MC felt incredibly excited, because the mirror world inversion could completely reverse a skill's effect. The previous effect of Vine control was to launch it towards a target enemy with a chance to bind them. But after being enhanced, the inversion turned it into a definite chance to cause the enemy to go berserk. Who would have thought that a seemingly useless support skill would have such a miraculous effect after being inverted? A glint of vengeance flashed in the MC's eyes. So what if it's a support skill with the mirror world that inverts all things? The MC could not only slaughter his way through this secret realm, but also make those who had betrayed him pay the price in blood. The MC then proceeded to activate the inversion of his basic attack skill. Basic attack skill. Instantly, he unlocked the inverted skill, Trick Blade. For every point of mana consumed, he would gain a 10% attack boost for himself. He picked up the weapon dropped by a monster. Then, using the experience points gained from the elite monster to level up, this was a perfect cycle. Because after every level up, his mana points would automatically be refilled. And in the moment his mana was full, the MC continued to use the chaotic Thornbush skill. A system notifications of success. The effect of Trick Blade was triggered. Attack power increased by 10%. 2 minutes later, the MC's attack power had increased by 120%. At this point, the MC only needed one slash to easily one-shot an elite monster. Four Eyes, watching from the side, was completely stunned. Were these skills really from Yunche, the one who was always bullied? At the same time, a sudden event occurred, creating a huge explosion underground. A giant claw was seen breaking through the ground. The system announced that the final boss had appeared. This was a bit beyond the MC's expectations. This type of newly appeared secret realm had a level 21 hidden boss guarding it. The MC tried to probe the opponent's strength. As the MC launched an attack, the system displayed a notification. Target is immune to chaotic Thornbush. After that, Four Eyes immediately stood up strong, using his shield to block in front of the MC. This reminded him of his old comrades, who had once protected his back even at the cost of their lives. But Four Eyes' shield was fundamentally unable to block the attack of this powerful lion-like monster. His entire body was sent flying far away. Then he crashed hard onto the ground. The MC rushed over to heal him, but he found that the original owner's recovery skills were incredibly weak. He consumed a ton of power but only recovered a tiny bit of health. The MC could only tell Four Eyes to hold on. He would try to finish off all the monsters in 1 minute. Then the MC's expression turned serious. He then frantically harvested the 10 experience points from the monsters. After Trick Blade's duration ended, he successfully refilled his energy. The MC thought to defeat a level 21 boss, he needed to increase his attack power by at least 400%. But the highest level of Trick Blade could only be maintained for 1 minute. After some calculation, the MC had to use chaotic Thornbush 40 times within this period. Thornbush 40 times. So the MC hurriedly continued to use the skill to stack the buff. The MC immediately leaped up and slashed his blade across, first piercing through the boss's giant claw. Then he used 10 blades of light, striking the monster's back. In an instant, the boss's expression turned to agony as it collapsed to the ground. Four Eyes, witnessing this, was in complete shock. A level 5 support class player had just wiped out the boss, guarding this dungeon instance in one go. Four Eyes hurriedly asked the MC, "How did you get so strong?" The MC just looked at him without answering. Instead, he asked him, "What is your relationship with me?" When he learned that this Four Eyes was the grandson of his old comrade, the MC was very surprised. But the familiar comrades of the MC, weren't they all killed by Luo Wei? Could it be that many people survived? Moreover, that rotten-faced little devil from back then actually has descendants of his own now. Four Eyes changed the subject, urging the MC that it was best to return to school, because in the afternoon, the school was organizing a trip to the Modern History Museum. Soon after, the MC looked at everything with a sense of Gankai. After sleeping for more than half a century, the world had completely changed. There was also something else that surprised the MC. Normally, only items dropped by monsters could be taken out of a secret realm. Like the dragon bone ring on his hand, they could be taken out through the item inventory, which made it convenient for professionals to trade. But those that couldn't be put into the storage inventory would vanish after defeating the secret realm's boss. But in this world, the aura of magic from the secret realm could be seen everywhere. Could it be that after I died, some great change occurred? The MC's figure quickly appeared at the Museum of Modern History. But while the guide was introducing the museum, the MC's entire body suddenly froze. The statue in front of him was none other than Luo Wei, the supreme ruler of the kingdom and the emperor who ended the secret realm disaster. That year, this emperor was conquering an SSS-Rank secret realm when he was ambushed and killed by traitors on the spot. But at that time, the young prince, Luo Wei, endured the pain in his heart, and then led the suppression of the rebellion. Hearing such a version of history left the MC in utter shock. Luo Wei, that inhumane traitor, had become the savior of the world, in everyone's eyes. Meanwhile, the real hero, myself, was considered a traitor, a sinner for all eternity, hated by everyone. And what made the MC even more suspicious was, who on earth is this Ding Kun? Back then, he had never heard that name in the professional legion. Just then, a familiar voice called out from behind, "Yunche, you piece of trash, you're still alive." Seeing that the MC and Chao Ji were still alive, the bully, Ding Shu, led his lackeys to surround the MC. He slung his arm over Chao Ji's shoulder. "You're pretty lucky, huh? But you almost got us dragged into that secret realm. So how are we going to settle this?" Chao Ji tried to argue back but was threatened by Ding Shu's glare. "Open your eyes and look carefully." the traitor Chao An being stomped under the hero's foot, is your great-grandfather. So as a descendant of Chao An, do you think anyone will step up to help you? As soon as he finished speaking, Ding Shu climbed up high and shouted, "No one can ever defeat my great-grandfather Ding Kun." The surrounding students immediately erupted. Ding Shu's great-grandfather is the hero who suppressed the traitors. But the descendant of a traitor dares to come here and insult a hero. The murmuring brought a teacher over. He told Chao Ju to quickly admit his mistake and apologize to Ding Shu. Back then, the hero chose to spare the Chao family. For Chao Ju, you must feel immense gratitude for Ding Shu's great kindness. The humiliation in Chao Ju seemed about to boil over. Ding Shu smugly patted his head. Forget about talking now. Even if I were to beat Chao Ji in front of everyone right now, no one would stand up to help, because you're just a stray dog nobody wants. Just as he was about to punch Chao Ji in the face, a figure suddenly flashed forward. Then came a loud thwack. The unprepared Ding Shu was knocked down, face planting hard. The MC stood there with a cold gaze. Doesn't the hero's family have time to teach this punk some manners? This left everyone completely shocked. Has Yun Che gone crazy today? He actually hit the hero's descendant in front of everyone, and he's just a level 5 support. Isn't he afraid of being beaten to death by Ding Shu? Ding Shu got up furious. He waved his hand, calling his lackeys forward. But in the MC's eyes, these guys were just a bunch of punks slow as snails. The MC took them down one punch at a time. In just a few seconds, he had beaten them senseless. The final blow was reserved for Ding Shu. A rain of fists fell upon him. Ding Shu used his rage skill, increasing his attack by 25%. At this moment, he couldn't believe he was being beaten senseless by a well-known piece of trash, in front of everyone. Thinking of this, he decisively gripped his weapon, the fire-forged club, and swung it at the MC. The MC saw it coming and easily dodged. Then an explosive punch landed squarely under his chin. Ding Shu could only utter, "How is this possible?" before passing out on the spot. At this point, the teacher finally reacted. He scolded the MC, "Insulting the hero wasn't enough for you. Today you dare to strike the hero's descendant in front of everyone. You have no shame." After speaking, the old man raised his hand and took out a staff. The MC also waved his hand, revealing the bone ring. In a split second, a purple phantom image appeared on the spot. The staff hit the phantom image and snapped in two. This caused the old man's expression to change. Fear crept into his heart. What kind of equipment does the MC possess that it could block his attack? The MC slowly opened his mouth to reply. "Teacher, you claim to be fair, but you only listened to that Ding Shu's side of the story. Are you perhaps trying to suck up to the hero's family?" The MC's words hit a nerve. The old man could only pretend to be calm and say, "I will investigate this clearly," because right now he still didn't know what kind of equipment the MC had on his hand. So he thought the MC might also have some backing. The MC glanced at the durability of the bone ring. This is just an epic grade item, dropped by the level 21 sovereign boss. To deal with this level 35 old teacher, it's clearly not enough. Then the MC waved his hand, gesturing to leave. If that's the case, then just consider this punishment as being kicked out. Then he left with Chao Ji. At this moment, everyone still had expressions of disbelief. Is this still the worthless Yun Che they once knew? Facing the teacher without a hint of fear. After leaving the museum, the MC's expression turned grim. Chao Ji's great-grandfather was the MC's comrade back then, but now he's considered a traitor just like him. It seems the remaining families of my old comrades are having a hard time surviving. Then the MC turned his head to look at Chao Ji, saying that he wasn't very good at history, so he didn't know if he could tell him about the hero, Ding Kun. Chao Ji immediately got excited and started explaining. The legend says, that year Ding Kun was framed by the traitor Yun Che. He had set an ambush near the SSS-Rank secret realm long beforehand. Only then was he able to resolve the crisis brought by the rebellion. Not only that, he also resolved the great disaster of Winterhold City. And the flowing cloud sword on the statue is said to be the divine weapon that slew the traitor Yun Che. The MC clenched his fists. These guys had planned this from the start. The great disaster of Winterhold City was quelled by the MC through a bloodbath. Even the so-called flowing cloud sword was the MC's own sword. The killing intent in the MC's eyes surged. In his heart, he was certain of the first name on his revenge list. Ding Kun, if that's the case, I'll start settling the score with you. Meanwhile, outside the Ding family's courtyard, a group of guards was patrolling the area. Just then, one of them turned his head sharply. His wary gaze swept out from the side. This made the two MCs hiding in the corner not dare to breathe loudly. Xiaozhi clutched his chest and said, "We should probably leave. There are so many guards here, even if we manage to sneak in. When Ding Shu returns, he'll definitely recognize us." In his heart, the MC really wanted to kill Ding Kun right now, but according to Chao Ji, Ding Kun has been in a high-level secret realm for a long time. To enter, you must have a pass. So Ding Shu, being a descendant, is sure to have one. So the MC turned to ask Chao Ji, Does their family really need so many guards? Aren't they just one of over 10 descendants of Ding Kun? Yunchi called out and Chaoju replied, but they are after all the descendants of heroes, and they also have a secret realm in their house. Yunchi turned in surprise and asked, a secret realm in their house? The boy responded, yes. That's right, nowadays low-level secret realms have long been bought and sold by private individuals. But if you don't have some power and want to buy one, you wouldn't dare. Ding Shu often brings guards with him, so he can kill monsters and level up anytime. But ordinary students like us can only find monsters in the school's secret realm, and even then we get kill-stealed. Yunchi hissed his voice tight. This era has really changed a lot. Doesn't that mean the more money and power you have, the higher your level becomes? Xiaozhu agreed, that's a given. Ordinary people, when they graduate from high school, are usually around level 15-20. And after leaving school, many people can't access secret realms, so they can only stay at that level. But if they can get a job related to secret realms, like miners and rangers in national secret realms, by the time they reach middle age, they might reach level 30 or more. As for Ding Shu's family guards, because they can enter his secret realm, their levels can reach around 30. As for higher levels, generally only those recruited into the army, or those who can get into official organizations, like guilds, military academies, can enter higher-level secret realms and reach higher levels. Therefore, if you want to get stronger, a pass is indispensable. So we should go back. The level gap is too big. No matter how skilled you are, you can't be a match for those guards. Yunchi suddenly realized and muttered, based on my current strength, if I want to kill that hero, it's far from enough. Let alone the extremely high-level King Luo Wei with all his layers of protection. But scouting skills can be learned around level 30, and they are usually small area skills, like Eagle Eye Enhanced, Hearing, Summon Spirit Rat, and so on. But that's still not enough to cover the entire area around the house, and this isn't a life-or-death secret realm, so most of the guards will be much lazier. So if we want to get in, it's more than possible. Xiaozhu asked helplessly, lazy where? Yunchi thought that at least compared to scouting, the blind spots in high-level secret realms in his past life, this was much easier. He continued, even if we can get in a private secret realm like this, even if someone gets killed at will, it won't have any consequences. No need to. Before he could finish, Yunchi grabbed him by the collar and lifted him up. He asked Xiaoji, don't you want to change your life? Xiaoji replied, of course I do. But that's only if. I can get into a guild then, maybe? Yunchi asked. After joining a guild, can you really change? Xiaoju, the grandson of the traitor Chao Anhe. Hearing this, he felt both sad and confused, not knowing what to do. He spoke up. My destiny can only be changed by what I do now. Besides, aren't those who give up on themselves the ones who are truly lost? At least I won't pass up the secret realm right in front of me. You decide for yourself whether to come with me or not. He wondered if his descendant would make the same choices as him. Xiaoji was extremely conflicted with a hint of fear, not knowing how to decide. He thought to himself, I just can't let him go to his death. Yunchi raised his hand and whispered. He thought for a moment. There are no traces of summoning-type scouting skills over here. Yunchi observed everything carefully and realized in his thoughts that, so as long as we keep our voices down, he grabbed Xiaoji and leaped over the high wall. He thought for a moment, we can escape their line of sight. Seizing the right moment, we can enter with ease. He said in surprise, we actually got in. In front of Xiaoji, something seemed different. He hesitated and said, that's a hazy space with purple light. Yunchi replied, an underground secret realm. This one is a bit higher level than the previous one. But the number of monsters isn't too large, because Ding Shu's family regularly clears it out. There are only 2 small monsters. You go try it out. Xiaozhi clicked his tongue and replied, me fight them. I definitely can't win. He took a step forward, but was still attacked by a charging monster. Xiaozhi shouted, I must have been possessed to believe you. He yelled as he grabbed its neck, shouting, if I'd known, I wouldn't have come. Xiaozhi used his weak strength to resist the monster's counterattacks, yelling, I want to go home. Yunchi stood on the sidelines, taunting, why can't you fight back? Look at you yelling at me. When do I even have a chance to counter? I guarantee that with me here, nothing will happen to you. Xiaozhi, a level 6 shield bearer, crouched down and observed carefully. He used the shield in his hand and suddenly charged forward, delivering a strong counterattack to the monster. Another monster charged at Xiaoji from behind. With his excellent innate senses, Xiaoji immediately turned around and blocked with his shield. Yunchi leaned against a rock, observing. He thought to himself as expected. His talent is actually very good. It's just that he's naturally timid and easily scared, so he only dares to defend. But his judgment and his subconscious spatial awareness are incredibly accurate, because he's constantly aware of the dangers around him. He hasn't lost a single drop of blood. A desperate call rang out. Hey, I'm about to lose it here. Many people stop moving forward, simply because they don't have enough courage to challenge themselves. Your descendant has already taken the first steps. Xiaozhu said, I leveled up, Yunqi said. Experience points are distributed based on contribution. If you hadn't knocked them off balance, even if I had killed them, you wouldn't have gotten much experience. He suddenly thought, but his movements seem a bit too agile. Though, Yunqi asked, how did your attribute points increase? Xiaozhu replied, apart from spirit they increased evenly. He asked, doesn't a normal shield bearer usually increase their agility points? He replied, if I don't, it's hard to find a team at school. Yunqi said, no one wants to wait for a slow shield bearer, because those monsters will be stolen by others. You need to have a long-term vision. After level 60 during class advancement, class changes have attribute requirements. For example, the Fortress class requires 60 stamina and 90 defense points, so you can't just randomly increase them. But Xiaozhu said, an ordinary person at most can only reach level 40 in their lifetime. How could they possibly think about level 60? That's S-Rank. Yunqi gently placed his hand on his shoulder, as if trying to give him strength. With a serious look in his eyes, he said, from now on, you can think about S-Rank. Yunqi even asserted more strongly, seriously again, not just S-Rank but beyond. He thought to himself, that being said, it's time for me to plan my own class advancement. But my class is support. Everything depends on my hidden skill. This mirror world to turn things around. If nothing unexpected happens, it will change into... A notification window popped up. You have obtained a shadow-type monster soul. Skill gained an additional 2,000 experience points. Yunqi was surprised and thought to himself, my mirror world can even level up. A chaotic scene was unfolding. A sword slash just cut through a monster. The sharp blade took its head. Its head flew off, its body blood splattering everywhere. A notification panel appeared. Hissing blade technique attack power increased by 70%. However, the yokai still tried to counterattack, but it wasn't fast enough against Yunqi's decisiveness. He said, still not dead, huh? A blade with immense power swept past. The attack power boost has disappeared, Yunqi thought to himself. Looks like the duration of the hissing blade technique is over. This kind of skill is very powerful, but you can't fight with it for a long time. My stamina can't last long fighting either, but leveling up like this is already much faster than for a normal person. The notification panel displayed, character information received 2,000 experience points. Yunqi thought, moreover, when I kill these monsters, I can also accumulate experience for the mirror world. Something unusual seemed about to happen. He glanced over. Yunqi suddenly slipped. He immediately caught himself to avoid making a sound. He thought, the patrol, the Ding family's security patrol is getting bigger and bigger. Could they have discovered an intruder? Xiaozhu said, there are a lot fewer monsters now. If we continue, the risk will only increase. Yunqi also thought he's not wrong. Fighting monsters while keeping an eye on the guard's reconnaissance, and also calculating the timing of the hissing blade technique, is a bit much for me to handle right now. Besides from the skill book that just dropped, skill book, ability to create a magic brick from thin air. He thought to himself, not every skill after being inverted is useful for combat. Yunqi, the mirror world is still about 30% away from leveling up. Its new level 1 inverted skill is already ridiculously OP. After leveling up, it will definitely be even stronger. If I can kill the lord of this secret realm, I can probably level up straight to level 2. In other secret realms, it's not certain I can increase the experience points of this skill. I should go check out the realm lord in the central area. A shadow covered the entire space. Spirit beasts gradually appeared. Yunqi thought, summoning rats, no eagle-headed cats. The reconnaissance skills here are getting more and more advanced. He suddenly ducked behind a large cliff. He seemed to have discovered something. A chaotic scene filled with chains hanging from above. Xiaozhu spoke up. The realm lord of this secret realm is being restrained here. This is the first time I've ever seen this. Yunqi also said, the realm lord of the school's secret realm is guarded by the teachers, and we're not allowed to get close. Those chains must be very high-level equipment. He suddenly stood still at the large cliff, lost in thought. There are quite a few guards around. If I make a move on the realm lord, it will definitely attract more people. Based on my current level, it's impossible to kill the realm lord while surrounded. Yunqi dashed forward thinking, so first I have to take out the guards. A notification panel appeared. Hissing blade technique attack power increased by 150%. Crippled state. He spoke, next is interrogation. You'd better answer honestly. Yeman panicked, spare me. Please, what do you want to know? Just ask, I'll tell you anything. The salary the Ding family pays me isn't high. It's not worth dying for. Yunqi stood silently observing. He muttered, good, I can ask the important questions first. Yeman quickly replied, the pass to the hero's secret realm There's a whole pile of them in Master Tai's room. They're not rare at all, he muttered under his breath. He must be a big fan of the old hero Master Tai to be this worked up. Seeing his disbelief, Yeman shouted, "It's true. I've seen it several times. The pass is taken from Master Tai's study. Right now he's out with the captain of the guards, but it's just a temporary pass. No personal information has been entered yet. If you don't have an acquaintance to lead the way, you'll definitely be interrogated." Yunchi snapped his voice low. "That's none of your business. First, take everything out of your system inventory." He then dragged him outside, the secret realm inside the Ding family compound. Yunchi questioned, "The chanter skill book you have. Is there really only one?" Yemen replied. "Really, I don't have any more. The Ding family is very cheap. Basically, anything that drops in the secret realm must be turned in. We only get a small share of the scraps. The good stuff is all kept inside the main house." A system panel appeared. Moonlight Baptism, Lunar Radiance Descent, as he spoke, is also inside the house. That direction is the Ding family's main house, without a summons. We guards normally can't enter. Because in the Ding family, aside from the young Ding Shu, everyone is level 30 or higher, and their equipment is top tier. They don't really need our protection. Yunchi then asked, "So if I can get inside, I can get the pass?" "Right," the man objected. "No way the first master is in there." A map formed in his mind, the house, the main courtyard, and the secret realm's lord. Yemen continued, "That first master is level 42. If you run into him, you definitely won't win. Master Tai and the 3 family heads are all over level 50, and they're currently out on business. If you run into them when they return, it will be even more dangerous." Yunchi thought, going into the house. "Means I'll have to face a master who is many levels higher than me?" Yaman had fainted. He called out Chao Ji. Yunchi seemed to have a plan. He ordered Chaoji, "You stay here." He thought to himself, "Then I just need to lure him out." Inside the secret realm near the Realm Lord, large long chains hung from above. Yunchi suddenly pondered, using high-level chains to control the Realm Lord. If the Lord doesn't die, the secret realm won't disappear. Therefore, because it's so important, they must have guards watching the locks. This method is indeed very careful. But the premise for this kind of caution is that no one is willing to die to unlock it. He rushed over, covering a guard's mouth, thinking, the level of these iron chains. I was already familiar with them in my past life. A loud noise erupted. The people around murmured, "What happened? What's going on?" Yunchi grabbed the chains. He thought, "I have to make the first master in the house run out. This method is absolutely perfect." People around shouted, "What's happening? Why did the Realm Lord suddenly lose control?" Outside the secret realm, Uncle Lin yelled, "Stop dawdling! Get into the secret realm for reinforcements. Move!" All the guards outside the secret realm scrambled. They ran inside. Yunchi thought level 60 equipment obtained. The Ding family's main courtyard entrance to the main house. The butler bowed and opened the door to welcome them. "Welcome back, second young master and young master." Ding Shu, his face bandaged, spoke with irritation. "It's nothing serious. Why did he come to pick him up?" "I was just careless for a moment, and that Yunche kid," Ding Hao replied with a blank expression. "Picking you up was just on the way." Then he bowed and smiled fawningly at Miss Yun Sha. "Please alight from the carriage." She and Yun Yin got out of the carriage with an air of confidence. They walked with elegance and self-assurance. Ding Hao extended his hand toward the house, but before he could speak, Xiao Lei bowed low in welcome. "Welcome to my humble abode." Ding Hao frowned, his face twisting with contempt. He quickly kicked him hard in the stomach. Ding Hao's voice lowered. "Don't stand in the way like that." Then he followed the other 3 inside, leaving Xiao Lei lying on the ground. From a distance, Chao Ju was stunned, having witnessed the scene. Yunchi rushed down, asking doubtfully, "What's wrong?" "Did you see the Ding family return?" "So you didn't go in." Seeing his rigid expression, he approached and asked, "What's with that look?" Xiaozhu turned to answer. "How did you get over there so fast?" Yunchi explained confidently, "That is a realm lord after all. Even a level 31 is hard to capture alive, so there's no need to cause a scene. Within half an hour, they won't be able to recapture it. Anyway, what did you see?" Xiaozhu glanced into the distance. His voice choked. "That person." He bowed, his head getting chewed out by his superior. His voice tinged with sadness, "Is my younger uncle. Back when Yunjai rebelled. Moreover, his entire family was wiped out at that time. But even so, he shouldn't have to face the rest with such humiliation. Ever since then, the Chao family has had to endure the Empire's ill will. Furthermore, under the shady command of Hero Ding Kun, the bullying has become even more severe. In the end, we could only become servants of the Ding family, and occasionally we're dragged out to showcase the strength and kindness of the hero's family. For the Chao family to survive, we can only read the expressions of the Ding family. We can only bow and the scrape barely breathing. My parents originally thought about trying to change things. As a result, my father lost his mind and went insane, and my uncle became the Ding family's dog completely. Xiaozhi clenched his fists. Was it really right for me to come in here? After hearing his story, Yunqi walked away quickly, his voice firm. I'm going into the house. Xiaozhi jumped. Ding Shu's father is inside right now. He's level 42, fully equipped. If he spots you, you're dead for sure. Yunqi stood tall, his voice steady. In an era where secret realms are controlled like this, if you don't take risks, there's no hope of changing the situation. Besides, there are some things that if you keep hesitating, you'll never achieve anything. Xiaozhi, I can help you change things. But first, you have to make a choice for yourself. As for me, I choose to fight, but I won't force you. Xiaozhi's face paled, and he answered trembling, but they're a great family with overwhelming power. Can we really stand against them? Yunqi got into a ready stance, saying firmly, the thing I want to confront. He immediately dashed away, leaving him with a stunned expression. Yunqi's voice still echoed, is this entire empire? He charged straight from the forest into the house, leaving behind a dazzling streak of light and a swirling wind in the living room. Ding Hao was casually sipping tea. How did the Realm Lord escape its bindings? Yunsha dodged the previous question. Is he inconvenienced in any way? I can visit another day. Ding Hao waved his hand dismissively with a fawning reply, no need. My older brother can handle it. It's just a small secret realm. How could it be more important than Miss Yunsha? Besides, after hearing you were willing to come, my father and third uncle are on their way back home. So we have more than enough manpower to handle this issue. Also, I've contacted Hiro Ajia. He also really wants to meet you. Yunqi hid quietly behind the railing, lost in thought. Hiro Ajia, is that Hiro Ding-kun? I remember you need a pass and a guide to enter a hero's secret realm. And looking at her treatment, it seems her status is not low. Yunsha has the same surname as me, Yun. What a coincidence. For now, I should focus on the pass. Yun Yin glanced up at the corridor, as if she sensed something. Two maids walked in, chattering with each other. After they left, he stealthily stepped out, looking around cautiously. Yunqi kept his face hidden, revealing only his sharp eyes. He gently pushed the door open and entered, carrying an air of inscrutable mystery. Inside that room, warm sunlight crept into every corner, illuminating countless bookshelves, creating a truly peaceful space. Outside the secret realm in the Ding family's main courtyard, Ding Yi walked out with the others. We finally got the Realm Lord under control. Someone intentionally released it, but we couldn't find anyone. Risking so much, it can't have been just for one piece of high-level equipment. He pointed and ordered, his shrill voice echoing, first surround the house. She came here willingly as a guest. We cannot disturb her for any reason. She cannot be disturbed. He rummaged through the study looking for something important. Nothing. Didn't he say there was a pile of them? Suddenly, a few small sparks flashed from Yunqi's hand, and a system notification sound rang out. You have used the skill void phasing technique. It can dematerialize objects the size of a brick. Duration 4 seconds. He pulled open the drawer. A lone yellow diary appeared. Yunqi picked it up, his eyes showing surprise. A diary. These are all high-quality skill books. Skill book Slowing Light. Slows enemy units by 20% within 20 meters. Class Priest, Support Mage. In the Ding family's courtyard by the entrance to the house. Many people had surrounded the area. Xiaoji's face darkened as he hid behind a tree. Why are all the guards running this way? Did they find us? As expected, it's too dangerous. More and more guards are coming. Yunqi, if you don't get out now, you won't have a chance to escape. If I don't run now, and they find me, they'll have another reason. A woman hugged her child amidst the rubble. People fled in panic. The Ding family's men were slaughtering people everywhere. He clenched his fists. I should just leave quietly. Xiaozhi, at least I can protect myself. Otherwise, Xiaozhi recalled Yunqi's words. I can help you change things. But first you have to make a choice for yourself. After a moment of deep thought, Xiaozhi quickly made a decision. He shouted loudly. The shout attracted the guards. They alerted their comrades, over there. Xiaozhi ran shouting. The guards chased after him relentlessly. He told himself, Yunqi, I'll draw them away. You absolutely cannot let them find you. Behind his mask, the corner of his mouth involuntarily lifted. Looks like he managed to overcome his fear. And chose to fight, huh? I have the chains and the skill book. If you've got the guts, come and get them. The guards were furious. One of them yelled, after him. A slowing light costs 50 MP. Duration 60 seconds. Causes enemy units within a 20 mil radius around you to have their speed reduced by 20%. With his nimble movements, Yunqi decisively charged down. Accelerating light costs 50 MP, duration 60 seconds. Helps allied units within a 30 mil radius around you increase their speed by 30%. Ding Yu yelled towards the front. Team 2, Team 3, turn back and support protect the Realm Lord. He's not running away. He's heading for the secret realm. Hearing this, Xiaozhi was extremely surprised. Why are you leading everyone back in the opposite direction? Yunchi glanced over his shoulder. All the guards have come out. The Realm Lord must have been brought under control. If the Realm Lord is under control, it must have been through a huge battle. So right now, the Realm Lord's health is at its lowest point. If I can kill it, the mirror world can level up. What's not to like? In contrast to the chaos outside, the living room was strangely quiet. Yunsha gently lifted her teacup. The commotion outside is not small. You don't really need to stay here and entertain me, Dinghao replied with a scornful tone. It's just a petty thief. My big brother can handle it, it'll be fine. Ding-Yi on the front line yelled, don't block my way. Their speed is too slow. Charge straight for the Realm Lord. Young man, Silver Moon and the archers follow me and chase that intruder. Yunchi glanced back. Ding-Yi was getting dangerously close. He calculated in his head. Each class upon leveling up gets 3 additional points, and I've put half of those points into agility. Plus I have the speed boost from my support skill. Furthermore, around level 30, usually only archers and wanderers can keep up with me. Yunchi stood on high, observing the sealed Realm Lord and the dense crowd of guards surrounding it. Seeing this, he fell into deep thought. The Realm Lord is sealed here because they're afraid someone will kill it. As expected, it's at its weakest right now. As long as I use my full strength, I can destroy it instantly. The crowd saw Yunchi and shouted, he's here, get in formation. The guards lined up neatly, each row with a different combat role. Yunchi activated the skill Chaotic Thorns. Purple thorny vines shot forward. One of them had a panicked look on his face. What kind of skill is this? Another continued, why have I never seen it before? A masked soldier confidently explained, this is a status effect skill. A human's resistance to status effects can't be compared to a monster's, so there's no way we'll be hit so easily. He slammed his scepter on the ground. The ground immediately exploded, sending soldiers flying. Someone shouted in panic. Crap, someone got hit. Impossible. The status effect chance of this skill is off the charts. Yunchi, holding his blade, swiftly moved through the guards. With his nimble body, he passed the next group of guards. With this many people, I can get to the beast with low health. Many people were hit by the skill. The space became chaotic screams echoing non-stop. He's coming. Where's the crowd control skill, Knights? Why aren't the soldiers stopping him? Don't use that skill on our own people. Yunchi glanced with contempt. A disorganized mob with no combat experience whatsoever. Have they lost it all due to the long period of peace? The shield soldier stood firm, his voice determined. You're just one person. But as he was fighting, a stream of blue light shot straight towards him, but Yunchi immediately dodged it. The soldiers' voices were extremely confident. Just surround him and he's dead for sure. Ding-Yi quickly caught up. He ordered the soldiers right hold him. Ding-Yi quickly equipped his armor. His voice was firm as he spoke. Let me deal with you. Ding-Yi swung his axe up. His whole body caught fire. He executed the skill Raging Fire charge, aiming straight at Yunchi's back. He parried the shield soldier's blow, and at the same time gave a provocative look. Come on! Yunchi's sharp eyes gleamed. His expression was triumphant. Good. Although my level isn't high enough to wear it, and I can't just use it to boost my stats. Its durability is level 60 after all. Ding-Yi launched a huge flame towards him, but Yunchi quickly blocked it. He blocked the attack. He calculated internally, I'll borrow the force of this massive impact, but to perfectly break the seal. As if grasping the key point, Yunchi aimed straight for the Realm Lord's shackles. Here it comes, he said, his voice a mix of gratitude and taunting. Thanks for the boost. The veins on Ding-Yi's forehead bulged and he growled, How dare you? Yunchi landed multiple slashes on its body. I'll take the Realm Lord's EXP. After a fierce battle, victory was his. The fragments of the Realm Lord's body flew everywhere. A series of system notifications rang out. Level up to 3. Character info. Chanter. Level 20. High Spirit. Superior Agility. 9 free attribute points to distribute. Mirror World skill level increased to level 2. Mirror World experience points are full, leveled up. Ding-Yi was furious. His face twisted. He charged towards Yunchi, yelling, Son of a bat! He stood before the Realm Lord's corpse. Behind him were Ding-Yi and his subordinates. Get him! Yunchi began to operate directly. On the system interface, he pressed the Use button on the system panel, activating the level 2 Mirror World skill. Ding-Yi powerfully swung towards where Yunchi was standing, but he had vanished, leaving behind a purple streak. He and his soldiers were completely bewildered. They didn't understand what had happened. Defeated, inside the Mirror World, Yunchi gradually materialized in the hazy reflective space. He looked at the blue silhouettes and wondered, what is this? Yunchi glanced at the mirror walk system. Time remaining 29 minutes, 51 seconds. Seeing this, he looked surprised. The world inside the mirror, Yunchi suddenly appeared in the Mirror World. He glanced curiously at the ghosts around him. So this is the world inside the mirror. No wonder it's inverted from the real world. But these protectors seem to be just illusions. He reached out and touched the crystals on the ground. Cold. Yunche picked up a piece of glass and remarked, "This isn't an illusion. Can I take it out? So after this skill reaches level 2, I can come to the mirror world and take things out. Then there must be a change in the system, right?" The status list immediately appeared. He was surprised. What are these skills? Yunchi reached out to activate the unlocked skills. Not activated, the system panel then displayed its content. Base skill not learned. He began to ponder. It seems what's displayed here is the inverted form of all skills. I must learn the base skills in reality first, before I can activate them here, huh? The level 1 inverted skill was just a truncated part of the level 2 functionality. It seems I can choose powerful skill combinations that I want to learn first. It's best to plan for the next progression path. Suddenly, Yunche turned his head and looked in horror, watching the flying illusions. Spirits. He realized that other spirits could also exist here. Those spirits transformed into dangerous crystals. Yunchi concluded, so they've turned into spirit monsters. He quickly used his weapon, slashing into its body. Yunchi's eyes were cold and determined. Doesn't seem very strong. Suddenly, a golden light flashed, surprising him. The system announced an undead spirit contract. You can sign a contract. Can be brought out of the mirror world. Yunchi was surprised. A contract? After defeating an undead spirit, I can acquire it as a summoned creature, then bring it outside. He focused thinking about the new information he had just received. Not just the stones, it seems the level 2 mirror world can bring objects from here, even undead spirits into reality. Yunchi glanced at everyone, feeling excited. This is interesting. In another place, ambushed by soldiers, the secret realm has disappeared. Why hasn't that guy appeared yet? How could he disappear into thin air? Could this be the Wanderer's stealth skill? Someone twirled their knife and replied, "Impossible. Our stealth skill has a physical form and a time limit. It would have been detected." Hearing this, Ding Yi flew into a rage and grabbed his subordinate's head. "Then you tell me why. How could so many of you let him get away? If you can't find him, you'll pay for this secret realm." As he was venting his anger, Yunchi appeared, startling Ding Yi. He spoke up. "So the time limit for mirror walk is up. Do I return to the same spot when I exit? Or are there other conditions?" Seeing Yunche appear, his blood boiled and he roared, "Get him!" Yunchi calmly created a flash of light. "Don't be in such a hurry. After being surrounded for so long, I should give you a little something in return, right? Have a taste of my undead army?" After that, Ding Yi's soldiers were overwhelmed by the spirits. Someone screamed, "What is this? It's a demon." He quickly reassured them, "Don't panic. It's just an undead-type monster. I've seen plenty." Ding Yi's subordinate was being pushed back by the undead spirit, unable to hold his ground. Someone realized, "It has a status bar, it's only level 20. He became even more annoyed and yelled, "I told you not to panic. Fight back, catch it. Everyone gets a raise." He stood from a distance, glancing at the group of people who were fired up for money. Suddenly, Yunche disappeared, confusing them. Where did he go? By this time, he had long since left that place. He thought to himself, "These undead spirits are still too low level. If I could obtain higher-level undead spirits, then that disorganized mob would be no match for me, but the undead spirits that can be found inside, the 20 strongest ones have already been contracted, and the mirror world has a search boundary. After entering the mirror world, I can only act within a 200-meter radius. I need to find time to search in other places inside the mirror world. I have to see if I can find higher-level undead spirits." Suddenly, Yunche saw himself and charged down. Below, a scuffle involving Chao Ju was taking place. In that moment, he was being lifted up and interrogated. "Think you can run? You think I'd miss you. I wonder what the reward for catching you will be." And just then, he swooped down and pulled Chao Zi away. But his eyes turned bewildered because the action happened so quickly. Yunchi forcefully pulled Chao Zi away. "Let's run! We should also head back and check on our haul." Groups of armored men fought a tough battle with a terrifying spirit beast in the thick atmosphere. Immediately after, he decisively used a move that staggered the beast, emitting a terrifying blue light. The system displayed the message "deceased" right at that moment. A voice was heard. "These things aren't that strong, but how can they come back to life after being killed?" Nearby, a man with a bushy beard was breathing heavily. Dingguo's arrogant expression was accentuated by a slight lift of his eyes. "These things are all summons, even if they can be revived. It definitely requires mana, so just kill them a few more times and it'll be fine." But at the same time, Ding Dang's deep voice spoke up. "Miss Yunsa is back, in the Ding family home." Ding Chen bowed his head before the old man and said sincerely, "I'm sorry, father, I couldn't keep her." Actually, the intruder was too arrogant, but managed to run out of the house, screaming wildly and even breaking the house's windows. Ding Da frowned and said, "The intruder even got into the house. Not only did you not catch him, but you don't even know what he looks like. Is this how you do things? He bowed at a right angle. I apologize, I did not do my job well. But Miss Yunsa has also agreed to go to the hero's secret realm. At least Aja's matter will not be a problem. Hearing Ding Guo's report, the old man spoke with contempt. Find out who it was, and send them to hell. Go and see if anything else was stolen. At the same time, in another space, Yunqi was holding a card that allowed passage into secret realms and other territories. He stared at the card, thinking, I have the pass, but I still need someone to take me into the hero's secret realm. But there's no rush for that. This time at Ding Shu's house, I leveled up to 20. Although the Chimera Bone Ring is basically broken, but I also got more than 10 skill books hidden in his house. Yuncha took out a magic skill book. He sensed that the caster was a support skill. Learned Battle Chant. Cost 40 MP. Duration, 60 seconds. Critical rate, 65%. Critical damage, 15%. Defense, 20%. He thought to himself, on the contrary, I can rely on these skills to supplement my own attributes. Reverse Shield Chant. Cost 40. Duration, 60 seconds. Critical rate, 12%. Critical damage taken, 23%. Defense, 30%. At that time, I can just rely on my own attributes to crush those of the same level. Boost combat power, passive skill, permanent, strength +3. A system book, continuously updated with essential information for the skill. Corrupted Knight's armor. Yunqi observed it meticulously. Also, the Lord from before dropped a piece of equipment. I can use it later. And the important thing is, I've leveled up the mirror world to level 2. The undead summons I've captured have significantly increased my combat power, but it's still not enough. Based on the style of the equipment on the statue, the hero must be at least an S-rank branch profession of a berserker. I need to at least get a death pact of the same rank and level up to over 50 to have a chance of defeating him. Seeing him sitting there in a daze, Chao Ju spoke up. Yunqi, they won't be able to catch up, will they? He glanced over, a sinister smile on his lips. Don't worry, I've shaken them off. And we weren't seen, so it's fine. Yunqi reassured him. But Chao Ju still felt uneasy. Yunqi observed his expression, still anxious. Well, it's tough for him at this age. Chao Ju, are there any secret realms nearby where powerful people have died? He was curious. A secret realm where powerful people have died. Yunqi replied, that's right. I want to find a higher-level secret realm to level up. As for the powerful people, you'll know when the time comes. Chao Ju pondered for a moment, then spoke hesitantly. Speaking of secret realms where powerful people have died, there is actually one. His long, narrow eyes hesitated for a moment before he spoke. But that's the school's secret realm. We don't have a chance to sneak in. Hearing Chao Ju's explanation, he took the opportunity to think. The school is a leaky secret realm. Then I can only rely on some special methods. Gong Lai was dazzled by the number of rare books in his hand. He couldn't believe it. This is for me, a rare purple-quality skill book. And it's for my wanderer profession, too. He coughed a few times, embarrassed. Looks like this kid Yunche really has some backing. Then he spoke slowly. The school's secret realm can't just be opened for anyone at any time. I can't open a back door. But this secret realm has recently only been open to students who are about to graduate. Generally, lower-year students are not eligible to participate. But if you're an exceptionally outstanding student, you can also participate in the tour. With a teacher's recommendation, I'll do my best to help you get this spot. At the same time, in the school's secret realm, Galiang was jumping up and down. This might be the only secret realm I can enter in my entire life. I have to grind as many monsters as possible. His teammate beside him smirked. If it weren't for the hero's gift, we wouldn't have this chance either. He also added his thanks to the hero. But Yunche's eyes seemed to have noticed something unusual. This secret realm is off. Gong Lai continued his lecture. This is the hero's secret realm. A gift from the hero to our school. Legend has it that the hero once fought in here. There might still be traces of him somewhere inside. But while everyone was listening intently, Xiaoju stood timidly in the corner. His face was pale as he thought to himself, the hero's secret realm. Isn't this the place where the brave hero cut down the traitor Chao En? Xiaoju glanced at Yunche hesitantly, his heart pounding with unease. Should I tell Yunche? Gong Lai reminded them. But the level of this secret realm is very low. Remember to pay attention to your strength. Xiaoxie, you lead everyone. Hearing him give the order, he gritted his teeth and complained. Then how am I supposed to level up? Gong Lai had to plead, Xiaoxie, come on. Stop complaining. The secret realm is open, let's go in. He spoke with contempt. The underclassmen are here too. What a pain. Now I have to carry 2 dead weights. After we go in, you guys stay behind me. Don't cause any trouble for me. Otherwise, if you die, I'm not responsible. As he was about to enter the portal, Yuncha sensed an aura. This is a level 20 to 40 secret realm. Why is there such a dangerous feeling? The surrounding atmosphere was shrouded in gloom. Mana lingered everywhere. Inside the brave hero's secret realm, suddenly they all looked ahead, whispering excitedly, "What? Why are Yun Yin and Yun Sa here too? Aren't they underclassmen?" Xiaoxi looked at Yun Qi and said with disgust, "Look, these two underclassmen are here too. If Yun Sa and the others could move over here, that would be great. Leading the girls gives me more motivation." The more he spoke, the more he drooled with desire. "Maybe I can even—" Wang Lin kindly reminded Xiaoxia, "Stop dreaming. They're probably over level 30 already. We were the ones who asked them to lead. Besides, you shouldn't be aiming so high." Hearing him say that made him feel dejected. I know. I was just kidding." He said one thing, but his actions, the way he looked at them, were another. Seeing the two girls striding closer, he was stunned. He spoke shyly, "Yun Sa-yu," but the harsh reality was, they didn't even glance at Xiaoxie. With stunned eyes, Yun Che watched the distance between him and her shrink. This person was a guest at the Ding family's house. Her status is not low. Why is she looking for me? Does she know the original owner of this body? Or is she here to stand up for Ding Shu? At this moment, Yun Yin's sweet voice was heard. "I saw you at the Memorial Museum yesterday. Your skills are not bad and your voice is very special." Yun Qi was surprised to see her like this. Just striking up a conversation. Yun Yin's sharp eyes shone as if they had a life of their own. Even her voice, mixed with the sound of breaking glass, was very clear. The memories of him breaking the window to jump down were shocking. Yun Qi had to look at her in a different light. This person recognized me just from the two shouts I made yesterday. A second later, he saw Yun Yin quickly change her clothes. She spoke seductively. "That's all for the greetings. That's all for today." Beside her, Yun Sa also transformed her outfit and said, "Let's go explore first." Seeing their unusual behavior, he thought to himself, "They recognized me, but they didn't expose me in front of everyone. Instead, they spoke to me in this way. Are they reminding me? Indeed, Ding Shu could also recognize my voice. But as long as the Ding family doesn't find me, in the short term it's fine. With my leveling speed, I soon won't have to worry anymore. If they've shown good intentions, then I'll give them a reminder as well." Yun Qi's deep, warm voice spoke. "You two should be careful. This secret realm has a dangerous aura." Yun Sa, in her luxurious outfit, turned her head and said, "Speaking of which, there's a very strange feeling here. Based on my level, I shouldn't have to pay attention to it. But thank you for the reminder." The people around them, hearing the conversation between the two, pouted with disgust. "Is that still Yun Sa? Isn't she very cold? But why is she like this with him? This nosy girl, how do you know Yun Sa?" Seeing this, the crowd started to ask, "Do you two know each other?" "Yes. Could you introduce us?" Yun Qi coldly waved his hand and said, "Sorry. We have to go." Zuerong shouted, "Go? Are you going to act alone? The monsters here are at least level 20. You two underclassmen, if you run into even a small monster, you could die." Early on, seeing her so enthusiastic and kind, made Xiaoxi run over and try to stop her. "Just let them go. To be able to have a relationship with Yun Sa is not bad, so I think their levels won't be low either." Hearing what he said stunned them. The girl said, "But Teacher Lee told us to pay attention, so how can their levels—" He reminded them in a low, harsh voice. "Don't forget our real purpose for coming here. The fewer people who know about that place, the better. That place has rare star crystals. Do you want to share with them? Anyway, everyone is equipped with an emergency signal gun, so don't worry about it." In his dark heart, there was no such good thing. On what basis can a normal kid know Yun Sa? If you don't know your own limits, then you deserve to die. The dilapidated walls were shrouded in a deep red space, the entrance to the secret realm. Before the operating portal, Uncle Hai said, "You're Ding Shu. Why are you here?" He pressed closer to him, threateningly asking, "A team just entered." "Right," Uncle Hai answered. "That's right. What did you want?" Hearing the answer from his own mouth, Ding Shu's bloodshot eyes were sharp, as if he wanted to devour everything. In his mind, he quickly recalled two familiar names. Yun Che, Chao Zhi. He remembered what Ding Chen had said. "Don't blame them for the fight at the Memorial Museum, and think about taking it out on them. I don't have time right now to deal with these small matters for you." Ding Shu roared with anger. It really was them who broke in. I heard their voices. Seeing Ding Shu's unstable behavior, he sternly reminded him, "Achu? The intruder easily escaped from us, with so many guards. What student could possibly do that? You at least have to prove that their strength surpasses that of the guards. Otherwise, it's hard for me to help you. All right, we're talking about important matters. Don't bother us anymore." As those words kept repeating in his head, he flew into a rage and grabbed Uncle Hai by the collar. Yun Che and Chao Zhi also went in. "This secret realm, I want to go in too." Arriving at the brave hero's secret realm, Yun Chi swung his blade repeatedly, destroying a swarm of phantom spirit monsters. With just one critical hit, he successfully sent a spirit monster to its doom. Next, Yun Chi fired an incredibly powerful magic blast at the large phantom eye spirit before him. It quickly counterattacked, but he had already activated his evasion reflex state. Yunqi urgently ordered Qiao Ji. He quickly understood and used Surrounding Shield. Instantly, protective shields appeared around him. The system panel appeared. Surrounding Shield. Qiao Ji also quickly shouted encouragement to Yunqi, activating the Encourage state. System Encourage increases attack and speed by 5%. In a flash, he had reached the Eye Spirit's shoulder. Yunqi raised his blade, preparing to deliver a fatal blow. Instantly, he swung his blade and cut the huge beast in half. The system then announced Blade Cantillation 7 seconds remaining. You have leveled up. Yunqi level 21 spellcaster. Beside him, Qiao Ji also cheered with joy. I leveled up too. Another level up. Qiao Ji, race human, level 11 shield bearer. Yunqi thought to himself, among the skill books I got from the Ding family before, there happened to be 2 books, Surrounding Shield and Encouraging Shout. With Qiao Ji's current level, he can learn how to use the skills. Although the monster levels here are a bit high, with Qiao Ji's help, things will be much easier. According to that teacher, in this secret realm, there's also a very rare monster called a Magicite monster. Killing it has a chance to drop a support system skill, called Gravity Pull. It was lucky that I read the skills on the list in the mirror world, so I was able to decide which skills to learn. He looked into the distance, thinking, not just Magicite monsters, but also undead. I wonder where in the secret realm those powerful people died. I hope I can find some high-level ones. Suddenly, Yunqi's eyes widened in surprise as if he had seen something strange. Oh, so he had seen a tall monster with tough armor. Yunqi was stunned. Is that thing where Yunqi and Qiao Ji were standing was called the Crystal Pillar Valley? He looked down at the monsters from the cliff. Yunqi thought to himself, here, so many elite-level Magicite monsters are gathered. Furthermore, they've moved at least 1,000 meters. They have long surpassed the normal range of activity for monsters. Are they wanderers? Wanderers are rare monsters found in secret realms. They don't stay in one place but wander around everywhere. Their strength is much greater than that of normal monsters. In the past, when humans were not yet strong, encountering wanderers meant certain death, because they even wander outside of secret realms, leading to countless tragic secret realm disasters. However, corresponding to the danger, after defeating them, you would receive experience and item drops, far beyond what normal monsters drop. In a flash, Yunqi had gotten close to the Magicite monster. With such a powerful monster, when the time comes, he unleashed a fatal blow, cutting down the monster, showing his determination. I can only try once and see. But unexpectedly, the other monster actually had the ability to regenerate, which surprised Yunqi. It has a continuous healing skill. He continued to unleash magic blasts at 2 Magicite monsters at the same time. They didn't back down either, retaliating with a barrage of lightning. Despite being protected by Qiao Ji's shield, under the relentless attack, Yunqi was hit. He became anxious. These monsters' attacks are both fast and numerous. With this situation, even with high speed, I can't dodge them all. My health and defense are too low. If it weren't for Qiao Ji's Surrounding Shield, I would have been seriously injured. In this difficult situation, Yunqi decided to summon his spirits. But the summoned spirits couldn't resist the power of the Magicite monsters. This won't work. The spirits can't hold on. Luckily, their movement speed is still quite slow. But my health and defense can't be increased in a short amount of time. If I want to defeat these monsters, it seems I can only rely on increasing my defense. After Qiao Ji levels up, that's it. With that thought, he immediately ordered Qiao Ji to go first. Come with me to grind some other normal monsters to level up. After a while, Yunqi and Qiao Ji had reached a low-level monster area. He carefully thought, from the high point earlier, I saw a lot of monster locations. I can use them to take him leveling. In team battles, the protective shield is the first line of defense, and is indispensable. And the other professionals can hide behind the protective shield to better protect themselves. From then on, Qiao Ji's attribute points were all focused on defense, plus the protective helmet that I conveniently got from the Ding family's guards. So now, at least he has the defensive capabilities of a core shield bearer. Now, he can block attacks from monsters up to level 20. After observing for a while, he also noticed Qiao Ji's shortcomings and instructed him, lower your whole body, stand firm and point your shield towards the target. Qiao Ji immediately followed. He struck the spirit monster with a powerful blow. He also quickly realized with joy that the shield had changed. The durability has decreased a little more than before. Suddenly, Yunqi's voice startled him. Watch out for an attack from behind. Although he was hit by the spirit monster's attack, but luckily right after, he charged forward and cut off its arm. Yunqi warned in a low voice, always be alert for the enemy's next attack. And the range of motion doesn't need to be too large, and leave room to deal with the next attack. Although you must always maintain vigilance. Your body must still be relaxed. only tense up at the moment of defense. Yunche patted Chao Zhi on the back, encouraging him. Keep going. I'm behind you as a shield bearer. You must always pay attention to the movements of your teammates. Behind you. Chao Zhi nodded in understanding, a confident smile on his face. Yunchi, while blocking the monster's attack with him, instructed, remember, in a situation where the difference is not too great, skill is the important thing that affects victory or defeat. Finally, they both managed to wipe out a large army of spirit monsters. He thought to himself with joy, I've leveled up. The system panel appeared. Yunche, race human, level 22 spellcaster. Yunche looked at Chao Zhi with pride. Now he can confidently face the enemy head-on. Because of that, more experience points were shared. Beside him, he was also overjoyed. I've reached level 15. Chao Zhi, race human, level 15 shield bearer. Chao Zhi excitedly held the shield armor skill book in his hand. Finally, I can learn it. Shield armor. Equip a layer of shield armor on the outside of your own shield. So he quickly learned the new skill. On this side, Yunche was still deep in thought. The skill book I conveniently got from the Ding family is the last one Chao Zhi can learn. To add another layer of armor to the shield he summons. With this shield armor, the defense points increase, which is enough to deal with those elite-level wanderers on a nearby cliff. Lei Yan and Zhuangzheng were worried about the wanderer monsters. There are so many elite-level wanderers here. Where did they come from? It's too dangerous for the students. We need to deal with this immediately, Lei Yan exclaimed nervously. But we can handle normal level 30 monsters. But to deal with these elite wanderers is still... Suddenly, the three of them saw a flash of light from the other side of the cliff. That's a student's distress signal. Zhuangzheng wanted to quickly go over there to save the students. Let's go save the students over there first. But Lei Yan hesitated. But the wanderers on this side are also very dangerous. If the students don't know and run into them... Lei Lai, who had been observing, also spoke up. That's right. To be safe, I should probably stay behind. Zhuangzheng heard this and agreed. Then old Bai will stay behind. If anything happens... But before he could finish, he was interrupted by Yunche. How about we stay here and watch for the distress signal over there? They must have run into a wanderer, too. If only 2 teachers go to save them, it'll be too much. Zhuangzheng was skeptical. You guys? He was determined. The speed of these wanderers isn't fast, and they haven't spotted us. So as long as we watch from a distance, nothing will happen. You teachers can go without worry. After a moment of hesitation, the 3 professors decided to trust him. All right. But those monsters are extremely dangerous. You absolutely cannot act on your own, okay? Make sure you hide well. If you get spotted, there's absolutely no way you can escape. Hearing this, Yunche said confidently, it should be them who can't escape. Yunchi immediately charged down, unleashing a slash at the wanderer monster. It's them who can't escape. Next, he fired a magic blast at the next one behind it. Chao Zhi also quickly activated his protection, surrounding shield armor. Yunchi used his summoned undead to block the attack, then dashed over to the other side. In an instant, the undead was completely defeated. But luckily, he had also managed to unleash countless fatal slashes at the wanderer monster. However, its armor was too tough, so it didn't do any damage. Yunchi was frustrated. Almost got it. He did a 360-degree flip, gathering all his strength for a final blow. And then that fatal slash cut the huge monster in half. Finally, Yunche had successfully defeated it. But he still wasn't satisfied. I've successfully dealt with one wanderer. I've almost adapted to this profession now. But compared to my previous life, it's still much worse. Yunche unleashed a series of powerful slashes at the wanderer monsters. Wanderer. Now, although I can use the reverse skill to greatly increase my attack power, my basic support attack is still too low. If I could improve my attack power a little more, that would be great. Very quickly, Yunchi defeated another monster, gaining another level. He became even more certain. My initial guess, I leveled up again. This rare elite monster really gives a lot of experience. The system panel also appeared. Please pick up the dropped item. Yunchi slowly approached. His eyes widened in surprise as he held the item. A weapon with an attack. Turns out it's a long crystal blade. Attack power plus 552. Yunchi thought to himself with satisfaction, isn't this just perfect? It makes up for my lack of basic attack power. Now battles will be much easier. But he still felt it wasn't enough. It's a pity the gravity pull skill book I wanted didn't drop. The drop rate doesn't seem to be very high, huh? If I could be luckier, I might be able to encounter some more wanderer species. Suddenly, a strange red light flashed in the sky. Oh, Yunchi remembered earlier. Isn't that where the distress signal came from earlier? And this time, the signal that lit up is a special distress signal that only the teacher's team is equipped with. Over there, Zhuangzheng was sweating profusely, holding up his shield. What is this? Why are so many wanderers gathered here? The entire area has been surrounded. by giant wanderer monsters. He and the others had to hide in a small crevice in the cliff to take shelter. On a nearby cliff, Yunsa and her team were also here. So many monsters have gathered. What in the world happened? A black-haired man with a hooked nose approached and explained, "I'm not too sure either. We just followed the signal to provide support," he said as he pointed to the side. The signal came from that cave. They must be trapped in there. Over there, everyone is holding on for dear life. We need to organize reinforcements now. But there are just too many monsters. Even if all of us teachers go in, it won't be enough. The teachers, pale-faced, pleaded for Yunsa's help. "It would be great if you could lend a hand." "Of course," she replied confidently. "This is my job after all." With that, Yunsa immediately cast her magic secret art star chant. Instantly, the entire area was illuminated by twinkling stars. The system panel appeared. Spirit power +2, attack power +20%. Everyone cheered with joy at the effect. The buff from this skill is insane. It has to be at least epic grade. Next, she unleashed Gravity Crush, forcing the monster to its knees in an instant. Yunyin immediately used Shadow Strike to help take down the pesky monster. Gasps of admiration were heard. So strong. Now, we can rescue the people inside. As expected of Yunyin and Yunsa, from up high, Yunche had seen it all. Not just their equipment, but even their skills are top tier. Looks like even without me, nothing bad would have happened over there. I wonder what the situation is in there. But there must be something to attract so many wanderers to gather here. He turned to Chaoju and said, "I'm going in to check it out. You follow these guys for now." Yunchi quickly activated Mirror Walk to scout more easily. He stood on a crystal, carefully thinking. There are crystals all over the ground. They're all mirrors, and I can step into the mirror world at any time. Yunchi recalled the last time he used this skill. It's just that I haven't had time to figure out the mechanism for returning to reality. Yesterday at the Ding family's place, after the mirror walk duration ended, I couldn't get back in. He stared thoughtfully towards the cave. Humans have shadows, but the monsters don't. Yunchi glanced over at the monster's corpse. But the monster's body actually exists. Except for me. Are all living creatures in the mirror world intangible? Yunchi went deeper into the cave. He ran into some familiar faces. It's them. Is that Xiaoxie? It seems they're here to lure the wanderers, to gather, and then they fired a distress signal. Since they're operating in narrow terrain, there's no immediate danger. But I really don't know what's inside. That could attract so many wanderers. Yunche looked down and walked towards a strange blue glow. It's all crystal. This stuff has a huge impact on one's intuitive sense of direction. Suddenly he froze. There's something like this here. Yunchi placed his hand on a nearby rock. Is this a special crystal ore? No wonder Xiaoxie's group came to this cave. This type of crystal is unlike those in the outside world. Secret realms will produce some special materials that don't exist in the outside world. And what's more, people with lifestyle professions can use these materials to create special items like equipment and accessories. These mineral deposits here are worth more than their weight in gold. As soon as he touched it, the system displayed a notification: mirror crystal ore. Harvestable, yes. Can be brought from this place back to the real world. Yes, no. Yunchi stared at the two options in surprise. From this place back to the real world? He placed his hand on the large crystal, surprised. Could it be? A smirk formed on Yunche's lips. Turns out as long as there's a place in the mirror, I can return to the real world from there. He began to collect all the crystals there. There's still a lot to discover about this skill, so I need to find a chance to study it meticulously. After harvesting, Yunche quickly moved forward, but for now I still have to scout this place first. He stepped into a small passage. The amount of ore in here is ridiculously high. If I were to mine all this ore, it would be more than enough to turn a normal person into a billionaire. No wonder so many wanderers are gathered here. Yunsa leaped high using Gravity Crush, causing the ground to shatter. Yunyin then used Dual Blade Dance to slice through the large rocks. They both continued to attack using Star Dance art. The onlookers started whispering. Are all of their skills epic grade? Why is every single one so powerful? They're a lot stronger than even the teachers. A diagonal slash was unleashed and flew straight towards the boulder. It instantly shattered into small pieces. The people below were overjoyed to see this. They exclaimed with relief, "We're finally saved." I thought I was going to die here. Yunyin suddenly appeared before them and said, "Don't relax just yet. We still have to get out of here. Everyone is already exhausted." Yunsa touched the brim of her hat and said with a smile, "But it'll be easier than before." Suddenly she saw something and froze. Her golden eyes flashed. Huh. The two people behind Yunyin also turned pale. A swarm of monsters was advancing towards them like ants leaving a nest. What is this? They screamed in terror. Did all the wanderers in the secret realm? Run over here. Inside the mirror world, blue crystals glittered behind the gray rocks. Suddenly, there were overlapping slashes, cutting towards them. The rocks and crystals shattered simultaneously and fell. It really is like a maze. Yunqi's eyes suddenly widened as if he saw something. Whoa! He looked up high and saw a massive glowing crystal. This is... Yunqi stared at it wondering. Could it be the hidden secret? If the various crystals and ores are the special products of the secret realm, then this core is the one and only secret treasure of this secret realm. The three great secret treasures are the condensed crystallization of the so-called special products in a secret realm. They are nurtured over a long, undetermined period of time. Ordinary people might not even see one in their entire lifetime. Each secret treasure of this kind has its own special effects, all different from one another. Mirror Core, Grade None, Type Secret Treasure. Unique item. Yunqi picked it up, smiling to himself. Increases basic attributes and reduces basic attribute damage. Ah, the vitality increase. Could boost my health points immensely. And the increased mana recovery rate means I can stack my blade, cantillation even more. What's even more important is the damage reduction. Attribute damage from the light and lightning system by a whole 20%. Percentage-based damage reduction is extremely rare. It's hard to find much of it even on the best equipment. And those take up equipment slots to wear too. He looked at it suddenly, becoming curious. But the strange thing is, the crystal ore attracts wanderers. If a secret treasure exists, then this secret realm should have a monster, far beyond the level of a wanderer. Yunqi touched the system panel. After using this secret treasure, I'll head out. Select your action, use collect. Using or taking it out will consume 10 minutes of mirror walk time. Do you wish to consume yes, no? Outside, the others' faces were pale and dripping with sweat. Yunsa and Yunyin also wore expressions of disbelief. Large boulders were cracking and falling, revealing a giant monster standing behind the horde of wanderers. This is the Lord of the Wanderers. It's a hidden boss. The Vagrant Lord is a rare hidden boss, separate from the Secret Realm's Lord. Its power far surpasses that of a normal Lord, and is far beyond what teachers or students can handle. In their panic, they started to get angry. Weren't Vagrant Lords supposed to only appear in high-level secret realms? This secret realm, how can it have this kind of monster? At this rate, we're all going to die here. Yunsa's lips moved as if she wanted to say something. Then she suddenly shouted, "Everyone calm down, working together to get out of here is the most important thing right now." Yunsa stood on a tall rock pointing in a specific direction. From that canyon over there, we can escape this valley. As long as we get out of this valley, we can escape easily. She began to use the secret art of star roaming and continued. So right now, don't hold anything back. Break through with all your might in that direction. Zhuangjing also powered up and agreed. That's right. At the very least, we have to get the students out. He equipped a suit of armor and enthusiastically charged forward. Starting with me, we'll take turns attacking. The others gradually charged forward as well, fighting back against the horde of wanderers. A series of massive explosions erupted, filling the sky with black smoke. The healers stood in the back, supporting those in combat. Looking down from above, a small group of people was trying to fight off the giant monsters. The wanderers didn't just stand there and take it. They began to counterattack. Hold on tight. We're not far now. Suddenly, the Vagrant Lord let out a massive roar. Battle roar assemble. After hearing that loud sound, the wanderers stopped their actions. They all swarmed in one direction, obeying the command to assemble. Countless other wanderers poured in from all sides towards them, causing them to panic. Damn, where did all these monsters come from? The Vagrant Lord's eye flashed with a glint of light. Crystal aura. In the sky, a magic circle appeared. Health points, attack power, and defense power were all increased by 20%. The others fought back while asking, how did their attack power suddenly increase so much? One person shouted. To his side, the damage is too high, we can't heal fast enough. Beams of light simultaneously struck one person's body, making him scream, help me. When the students saw this, they screamed and cried, ah, the teacher is dead. Yunsa quickly changed tactics. Shield guards, get to the front priests. Prioritize healing the shield bearers. She looked at the scene before her, thinking worriedly. Everyone was too exhausted before. Now they're just barely holding on. Not to mention the Vagrant Lord hasn't even really made a move yet. Someone in the group suddenly said, this isn't working. At this rate, there's no way we can break through the encirclement. He used stealth and quickly dashed past the others. He gritted his teeth and whispered to himself, I'll just save myself. He charged out of the encirclement, dashing past the large wanderers. Zhuangjing put out a hand to stop them and shouted to the others, Wanderer-class professions don't follow him. The duration of stealth isn't long enough. It won't last until you get out. Just as he was using stealth, he suddenly reappeared among the large wanderers. Zhuangzheng saw this, and his eyes widened in shock as he looked ahead. The Vagrant Lord had also seen him and opened its mouth wide to gather energy. Then it fired a fatal blow at him. A voice shouted loudly, "This is... Watch out!" Zhuangzheng couldn't believe his eyes. His face was filled with horror. The Lord just blew him to smithereens. The scene was now in utter chaos. The Wanderers were still numerous, seemingly not having lost any numbers at all. Someone in the group frantically pointed ahead. Not only that, it also caused the canyon to collapse. That attack power is just insane. We're not getting out of this. Again, the Vagrant Lord continued to gather power in its mouth. The others turned to look back with extreme worry. This is bad. This time it's coming for us. We can't block it. The words had just left his mouth when Yin and Sa burst out of the encirclement. They both rushed forward and simultaneously put up their shields to block. Giant's Shield, Mountain Rock Shield. Both shields had very high defense. The attack from the Vagrant Lord didn't even make them budge. Yun Sa turned around and shouted, "Anyone with high strength, come help hold this up. If it falls, we're done for." Her face was dotted with sweat from the fighting. Up until now, this shield is level 70 equipment, so its durability is pretty much guaranteed. But because of its high level, no one is high enough level to equip it, and it's hard to move. So we can only stall for a little while. The people standing behind the shield turned pale. Why is there this kind of monster? In a school's secret realm, Zhuangzheng, who was using his strength to hold up the shield, glanced at two people arguing. "It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, how could we have ended up here?" He gritted his teeth, holding on and thinking to himself, "Was all the effort I put into saving them before for nothing? At least, those two kids are probably not in any danger, right?" Zhuangzheng looked behind him and saw Qiao Ji also holding up the shield. "Huh, he's a student from the back. Didn't I tell you two to wait in the valley? How did you end up here?" In his moment of distraction, a wanderer broke through the shield wall. He shouted from behind, "Watch out!" Qiao Ji quickly used his power to create a new shield. Surrounding shield. As the wanderer fired a beam of power at Zhuangzheng, it was blocked by the shield. He took a hit to the shoulder, causing blood to spurt out. The surrounding defense was already breached earlier. Now there's no one left who can stop these wanderers. He ran from behind to block its attack for Zhuangzheng. He held his injured arm and observed Qiao Ji. So this kid has this kind of strength. But now all the guards' shields are broken. He was sent flying backwards by its attack. Our defense is completely... Qiao Ji fell to the ground. A streak of blood ran down his face. The wanderer behind him began to power up. Zhuangzheng's eyes widened, his blood vessels visibly pulsing. There's no turning back now. Suddenly Yunche appeared. He used his sword to slash the wanderer that was about to attack him into several pieces. Seeing this, he was able to relax a little. Yunqi's entire body was covered in starlight. He praised Qiao Ji. "You did well." He winked and gave a thumbs up. "Yunche!" He gave Qiao Ji a small smile and continued, "Leave the rest to me." Not long before that, in the real world, Yunqi stood before a blue crystal that was emitting a brilliant light. He thought to himself, besides the replicated mirror core secret treasure, there's still the original in the real world. It seems that if I rely on this mirror world, my future earnings could double. The only thing is, the crystals and ores aren't easy to take out. A system notification: you are about to exit the mirror world. Insufficient travel time. Please select the items you wish to bring out. He thought, just like with the secret treasure, to bring out a single unit of crystal requires 10 minutes of mirror walk time. The system prompted, "Please select your action." Yunqi selected use core. "For now, I can only bring out the most valuable replicated core." The system panel appeared. "You have used the core and the mirror core." Suddenly, the surroundings shook violently, causing cracks everywhere. Rocks fell from the ceiling in chunks. He started to get confused. This kind of tremor, Yunqi quickly ran to investigate. Did something happen? I have to see if I can still enter the mirror world. He jumped into the mirror world to check. System notification: mirror walk. Yunqi realized with joy. So, before the remaining time of mirror walk is used up, I can still enter and exit as I please. After it's all used up, then it goes on cooldown. He leaped quickly, dashing through the rock crevices. Yunqi dashed out. System notification: you have left the mirror world. Now before him were tens of thousands of monsters. Yunqi looked at them and thought, the number of monsters has increased again. Even if they were attracted by the crystal ore, there couldn't be this many. Behind him, a massive and powerful monster appeared. The Wanderer Lord. It seems that's the source of the danger. I felt earlier. Yunche charged forward, preparing to fight. But he still thought Qiao Ji and the others are in danger. He had an idea. If I can enter and exit the mirror world at will... The moment the monster swung its fist at Yunqi, he appeared inside the mirror world. Yunqi jumped out of the way of the attack and returned to the real world. Then I can easily dodge the monster's attacks, much more easily. He swung his sword, taking down one monster after another, while calculating in his head. I'm level 24 now. Total mana points are 140. Mana recovery rate is 2.6 per second. The secret treasure adds 0.5. Therefore, my attack power can be increased up to 330%. A system notification, blade cancellation. Attack power increased by 180%. Time remaining 8 seconds. Yunqi's gaze sharpened. Even though it's urgent, the Wanderer Lord is stronger than the Secret Realm's Lord. I need to be at least level 30. He entered the mirror world. I'm still quite a bit short. Yunqi made his way to where everyone was fighting. He left that world and quickly cut down the monsters surrounding Qiaoji. Yunqi maintained his fighting stance and praised him. Qiaoji, you did well. When Qiaoji saw him, it was like seeing a savior. Yunqi said, leave what's behind me to me. He made full use of the mirror world and entered it again. When Yunqi appeared in the real world, he would quickly swing his blade and take them down one by one, then disappear again. If you have any support skills, buff me. Let me go deal with these wanderers. Hearing this, Yunsa quickly provided support, casting the star chant magic. Xiaozhu didn't stand idle either, using his shield armor. Surrounding shield to help. Yunqi immediately received the buff effect. Spirit power +2, attack power +20%. He thought, even though there are a ridiculous number of them, after using the secret treasure core, my health points have increased many times over. And the light and lightning system damage has been reduced by 40%. There's no danger anymore. It's just that these monsters are immune to chaos. Otherwise, they could be killed, even faster. The people fighting the monsters were shocked at the sight of Yunqi easily taking them down so quickly. One of them said, am I seeing things? I think his status bar shows that he's a spellcaster. But why is his attack power so high? Zhuangzheng added, furthermore, what kind of skills is he even using? He can even pass through things. He felt a sense of relief. He's that strong, and I was worried about him before. Yunqi continued to swing his blade enthusiastically, fighting the monsters. A system notification rang out. Level up. He thought excitedly, with so many monsters gathered like this. I'll level up really fast. Just you watch. Yunsa stood to the side watching Yunqi fight, also very surprised. Her opinion of him had changed. I thought this guy was just a gutsy thief. I never expected his strength to be so far beyond my imagination. Yunyin was equally surprised, quietly observing Yunqi. He just kept entering and exiting between the mirror world and reality. The number of monsters decreased accordingly. The system regularly announced level up. Yunqi had now reached level 28. One person exclaimed in amazement, is this guy reinforcements from outside? He's so strong. Zhuangzheng replied, I've met him before. I think he's a student. The others were stunned to hear this. What? A student, holy crap. The monster roared and prepared to attack. Everyone became panicked. Oh no, it's about to attack again. It spat out a powerful purple beam of light at him. Yunqi was starting to feel the pressure. Even now. I still can't tank this attack. Plus, I think it's starting to move. When it gets closer, even 2 layers of shields won't be able to protect them. Zhuangzheng seized the opportunity and gave an order. The number of monsters has decreased a lot. Let's break through the encirclement on one side. He was anxious. If we wait for the Vagrant Lord to get closer, it'll be too late. No matter how strong that one person is, he can't possibly fight this Wanderer Lord. The others voiced their objections. But these 2 shields are very hard to move. If we break out, we'll have to take the Wanderer Lord's attack head on. That's right, as soon as we move, it can easily hit us. Someone else added. These 2 shields are both big and heavy. We can only carry them with us if we put them in our inventory. Just as everyone was panicking about the monsters, one person spoke up. Leave it to me. It was Yunqi bravely standing up to protect everyone. I'll attack it and draw its aggro. Then everyone else can take the chance to escape. Zhuangzheng was both grateful and worried for him. If we escape, what about you? Yunqi was also worried about the future. If this Wanderer Lord isn't dealt with, it will gather all the monsters in the secret realm and let them loose into the outside world. Most of the major disasters in the past were caused by Wanderer Lords. Therefore, he replied to his question with a steely gaze, I'll stay behind and kill it. The system displayed a notification, blade cancellation. Time remaining 7 seconds. Mirror walk, time remaining 5 minutes 41 seconds. Zhuangzheng urgently urged everyone, hurry up, get out of here. No matter how strong that person is, when facing so many monsters and the Lord, he's bound to get exhausted. We have to get out of here quickly, so that he can escape. Someone asked curiously, didn't he say he wanted to kill that Lord? Zhuangzheng said, that was just to put our minds at ease. That thing is a Wanderer Lord. But Qiaozhu was also following the crowd, trying to find a way out. He looked back full of self-blame. I'm still so useless. At times like this, all I can do is run. Yunqi, you have to be okay. On Yun-Che's side, he was still tirelessly fighting the monsters. Because of this, Yun-Che's level was also increasing bit by bit. When the monster attacked him, Yun-Che entered the mirror world. Immediately after, he appeared next to it and attacked. He swung his blade at the monster's body with great force, but that giant mountain beast's level was too high. Yun-Che realized this. No good. Its defense is too high. I only did a little bit of damage, but with its regeneration skill, it can recover in an instant. He looked straight at the monster and thought, as expected, I still need to go for that spot. The crystal on its head is its core, and that's also its weak point. Yun-Che continued to attack the giant mountain beast, even though it didn't do much. It's just that my attack power isn't high enough. The system displayed Secret Art Star Chant, time remaining 5 seconds. He recalculated in his head. The buffs those guys gave me are starting to wear off, and my mana points are getting low too. Not enough to maintain blade cantillation for much longer. Yun-Che made a decision. I need to level up first. Suddenly, a mystical purple beam of light appeared before his eyes. Yun-Che realized with a start, this is... The monster's hand was raised about to attack him. Yun-Che immediately entered the mirror world. You planned ahead and predicted where I would appear, huh? When he left the mirror world, immediately, the power from the monster's hand shot straight at Yun-Che. The system rang out urgently, health. Your health has been reduced by 50 points. He remained calm despite his body being covered in wounds. This is a large area continuous attack. There's not much time left for Mirror Walk. If I rely on it to dodge, it'll be completely used up in an instant. A system window appeared. Mirror Walk. Time remaining 3 minutes, 46 seconds. Yun-Che had no choice but to use the undead spirits to block. But restoring summoned creatures consumes mana points. If I continue to stack attack power after this, I won't have enough. A large shield suddenly appeared, shielding him, trying to retreat and regroup. Yun-Che, struggling to find a way out, was surprised by the event. Xiaozhi, Yunsha, and Yunyin had returned to help him. Yun-Che was stunned. Why are you guys? Yunsha explained. Your little bro begged so desperately. We had no choice but to come and back you up. Xiaozhi, hearing this, grumbled, desperately begging, no way. There aren't as many monsters as before. Those guys over there have all escaped. He chuckled softly and said, thanks. Yunsha spoke up. This hidden boss is still too dangerous. Let us cover you so you can slowly get out of here. Yun-Che, as if fully recharged, said, no need. With everyone's support, I don't have to hold back anymore. The system once again displayed a notification level up. An information panel appeared. Name Yun-Che level 30. A powerful energy radiated from around him. I've reached level 30. My attack power is just enough. Yun-Che put on the corrupted knight armor, which had a level 30 requirement. Yunsha realized his intention. Are you planning to attack? It's weak point from above. From this height, it's basically impossible to get up there. But Yun-Che paid her no mind. He took out the book. What I wanted before, I have now. Skill information. Gravitational pull. Pulls the target object towards oneself. Inverted gravitational guidance. Pulls oneself towards the target. Yun-Che found a suitable skill. This is it, the skill that pulls me towards the target. He boosted the attack power for his hissing blade technique, then spoke reassuringly. Don't worry, this is all within my grasp. Yun-Che reached his hand out towards the monster's head, and he used the skill gravitational guidance. The skill instantly pulled Yun-Che right to the monster's head. He had reached the crystal core on its head. Yunsha and Yunyin looked up from below, horrified. Yun-Che repeatedly slashed at the crystal core. The monster roared in pain as its weak point was attacked. It erupted with a burst of fierce energy. He was covered in damage. System notifications flooded in. Your health has been reduced by 107 points. Yun-Che gathered all his strengths and continued to attack the core. Finally, the crystal core shattered. System notification. You have defeated the Wandering Lord. You have received 5,000 experience points. You have received the title Wanderer Slayer. Legendary grade skill books have dropped. Golden Light Shield and Angel's Blessing. The three of them watched in unending surprise. Xiaozhi immediately praised Yun-Che is incredibly strong. Yunsha, slightly surprised, also spoke up by himself. He could actually kill a terrifying monster like this. He stood on high looking down and said, to think a legendary grade item would drop. And 2 of them at that. Moreover, the thing that dropped is... Suddenly, the monster attacked, forcing Yun-Che to dodge to the side. The people below shouted with joy. The monster is about to fall. Yun-Che is still on top of it. Be careful. He dashed swiftly across its body. A massive tremor occurred. The entire body of the Wandering Lord seemed about to collapse. Yun-Che looked over and suddenly saw something. What is that? In the direction he was looking was a small cave entrance. It was pitch black inside. It stretched deep inside, until it was out of sight, a hollow mountain. Yun-Che leaped up to get a better view. Wanderers and human remains. He landed on a large rock and looked up. It seems this place gave birth to a Wandering Lord long ago, An even stronger one. That's why there are so many signs of a fierce battle here. Atop the mountain was the figure of a person tightly gripping a sword, pinned to the ground. What is that? The system panel immediately displayed that person's information. Chaoan Chaobenben, deceased. After seeing it, Yun-Che exclaimed in surprise, "Ben Ben!" He stood at the foot of the mountain looking up. His entire body was enveloped in a purple light. Chaoan's body was illuminated by the light, his cloak still fluttering. Yun-Sha's eyes widened in astonishment. She asked, "Is this the traitor Chaoan? Although I heard, this is where the hero Ding-kun killed him." But she looked at Chaoan's defiant posture and continued, "But I never expected this kind of situation." Yun-Sha calmed down, her gaze becoming sharp. "This is clearly the scene after fighting countless monsters and people. It's completely different from the statue at the Modern History Museum. This person doesn't look like someone who would be easily trampled." Yun-Chi frowned slightly, his gaze lowered as he remained silent. Chaoju, standing behind, suddenly spoke up. "You all probably don't believe it, but I believe that my great-grandfather was probably not some heinous criminal at all." He began to recount his own story. "Since I was young, I've read about my great-grandfather's history. Whenever it got to his specific experiences, it was always vaguely described, but I still found some details. He always went to secret realms that were not suited for his level. Tell me, why would he in S-Rank, a professional over level 60, come to a low-level secret realm like this? Because this is a secret realm that can nurture a wandering lord, and the wandering lord is the source of the great catastrophe, capable of summoning all the monsters in the secret realm to the outside world. Because of that, the government simply doesn't have enough troops to defend against all the monsters wandering out of the secret realm. And that's why we must rely on a few professionals with a sense of responsibility, who are also strong, to periodically clear out the monsters in the secret realm." At this point, Chaoju suddenly shouted, "And my great-grandfather was one of them. He came here to quell the disaster." The other three people could only listen in silence, unable to say anything more. His brow furrowed slightly as he continued, "You probably think I'm just making things up, right?" Chaoji's hands trembled as he clenched his fists. "My family also says that I'm just looking for psychological comfort by interpreting those words that way." Yun-Cha suddenly placed a hand on his shoulder, making him freeze. He smiled gently and said, "I believe you." The two girls, seeing this scene, immediately blushed. Chaoju, as if not believing his ears, stared at him wide-eyed. A gentle breeze blew, making Yun-Che's hair sway with it. He definitely wasn't that kind of person. An image of a young boy flashed. "I don't need a master or anything." The boy winked, smiling confidently. "I'm such a genius. It won't be long before I'm stronger than you. An old geezer like you should just retire early." When attacked by a mob of goblins, the boy cried out, "Master, save me." After his master bandaged his wounds, he immediately changed his tune. "Who needed your help? Next time, don't save me. I just didn't expect there to be so many monsters in this secret realm." In a flash, the boy had grown up. "Huh, you found me out again." He pointed a thumb at himself, grinning brightly. "That's right, I'm the type of person who works hard in secret and then shows off in front of others. Don't worry, the next secret realm we're going to isn't life-threatening." Chaoan, carrying a huge sword and a giant shield, said, "Why did you choose the Sword Guard class?" "The Sword Guard is considered the weakest of all the advanced classes for a shield bearer." A hint of anger appeared on his face. "But isn't it because you focus almost entirely on strength and speed? You always charge ahead. Basically, no shield-type class can keep up with you." Chaoan's face was covered in blood. He leaned on his sword and shield. "Old friend, I finally found you." He smiled, weary from battle. "I understand leaving the team without permission. 3 months' salary docked. I ran into too many wanderers and had no choice but to level up to save people. Anyway, forget it. Back to the present." Yun-Chi's eyes flashed. Ben Ben, for your sake I will settle the score with this Ding family." Elsewhere, in a large and luxurious room, a man asked in disbelief, "Is what you said true?" Ding Shu loudly and firmly confirmed, "It's true. If you don't believe me, father, just ask the teacher in charge of the secret realm." "That Yun-Chi kid is that good?" He quickly recounted everything to his father. "I was stopped by the teacher guarding the secret realm at the entrance and wasn't allowed to enter. I really can't let you in. Your level is still too low." But when the people inside came out, the ones who had just come out were chattering excitedly. "Did you guys see what just happened? I was standing far away, and I saw that wandering lord collapse." The person next to him replied, "With a commotion that big, who wouldn't have seen it?" The two people in front were also whispering, "I'm afraid he was the one who killed it. So powerful. That was a rare hidden boss over level 40. To be able to control it was already beyond my imagination." As soon as he heard the name mentioned, Dingshu's face darkened. "That person's name is Yun-Chi, right?" I thought Yunsha and the others were already strong enough. I never expected that there would be someone so formidable among the students. What's his background anyway? The room suddenly fell silent. No one said a word. Suddenly someone pushed themselves up from their knees. Summoned the Ding family guards. Follow me to capture the secret realm's traitor. Ding Shu's father immediately stopped him. Wait a moment. You said earlier that the kid from the Chow family was with him. His face became sinister. Then drag the Chow family along with us. Third Master Ding stood up and said, summon the Ding family elite guard and follow me to the traitor's secret realm. Then he suddenly spoke again. Wait a minute, you also said earlier the kid from the Chow family was with him. He said with a frighteningly dark expression, drag the Chow family along. Over here, Yunche appeared. He opened the system panel. The skill book Golden Light Shield appeared. Yunchi immediately took it out and offered it, saying, you should learn this skill book. It has no level requirement. The others, seeing this, looked at the book in astonishment. Yunsha also spoke up. This is a legendary grade skill, and you're just giving it away like that. Yunche replied. This is a skill specifically for shield bearers. I can't learn it. It's the same skill your great-grandfather often used. This is it. Hearing this, Yunsha smiled and said, but it's true you're not lacking in powerful skills. She shrugged and said, logically, my skills are also high grade, but compared to you, they're far inferior. Whether it's the skill that lets you suddenly disappear, or the skill that can summon so many undead spirits like that. Hearing this, he was stunned. He muttered to himself, undead spirits, and I remember now. The undead spirits I summon are all transformed from souls. Besides me, other souls can also enter the mirror world. He raised his hand, his eyes wide with astonishment. In that case, Yunchi immediately appeared in the mirror world. The skill has refreshed Mirror Walk. Your remaining time is 29 minutes 59.5 seconds. Yunchi, seeing this, was surprised. I can use it. At this moment, a pile of images appeared before him. Then a hazy figure gradually materialized before his eyes. He spoke Ben, returning to the real world. As Yunsha was sitting, the girl next to her reminded her, Yunsha, we should go. A little later and you'll have the reception ceremony. Hearing that, she let out an ah. Right, I really can't delay any longer. It's a shame it's still interesting here. After that, she got up from the cliff. Yunche, what the hell is he doing? Why did he suddenly disappear for so long without showing up? At this moment, he was in the mirror world. Before him was the shape of someone holding a sword. Above his head, a hazy soul appeared. Ben, I didn't expect we could meet again. I have a lot I want to say to you too. Seeing that he was no longer conscious, Yunchi said with regret, it's just a pity. At this moment, darkness enveloped Ben's body. Immediately after his gentle and pure appearance, instantly changed. He became ferocious. You can't go back. Yunchi quickly dodged away. As expected, he's turned into a vengeful spirit, but I don't want to fight him. The dark body, the vengeful spirit, relentlessly pursued Yunche. Yunchi's eyes flashed as he saw through this place. Immediately, images of Ben, from when he was alive until he met his fate, appeared. Another image of him as a child appeared. Yunchi hesitated. This is an image of him with others, fighting relentlessly. Yunchi realized these were things Ben had experienced. Right after was the scene of him being attacked from behind. Ding-kun! Yunche felt confused. His stance. Why does it feel so familiar? Right at this moment, the sound of a shattering mirror rang out. The mirror fragments around Yunche shattered, revealing Ben in front. What on earth happened? He spoke up, probing Ben, but at this moment he had lost all reason and charged to attack Yunche. He quickly blocked his attack, then spoke. Ben, you? He didn't answer. Instead, he continued to slash straight at Yunche. He quickly dodged and thought, he's only fighting on instinct. So Yunche decided to leave this place. However, at this moment, a system notification rang out. Current area cannot leave the mirror world. Seeing this, he was surprised. Can't leave. Yunchi let out a sigh. Looks like I can only fight my way out. Outside, Chao Zhu, who was standing, was startled. Another group of people aggressively approached. Oh, why are you alone? That Yunche kid, isn't he here? Did he find out we were coming and run away? The other guy laughed and said to the ones behind him, well, that's half the fun gone, Chao Zhu said. Ding Shu. He lowered his voice. Why did you guys come here to level up too? He immediately replied, don't play dumb little Chow punk. Weren't you with Yunche? Sneaking into my house to steal things. Chao Zhu said, flustered, I didn't, you're mistaken. He continued, you think I couldn't recognize your shouting voice? Hearing this, his face froze in terror. The other guy raised his hand and continued, none of that really matters, because I brought you a little gift. Hearing that, Chao Zhu was startled and terrified. On the other side, they had brought his entire family before him. Chao Zhu's grandfather cried out in worry, grandfather second, grandmother second, uncle, little aunt. At this moment, the woman's face was filled with worry. That was his mother. Right then, Chaoji's grandfather suddenly shouted, "Kneel! You little animal! Quickly apologize to the hero's family. And apologize to young Master Ding." "Shoo," he hesitated. "Grandfather, I don't want to." His grandfather continued to yell. "What did I teach you before? When you meet the Ding family, what are you supposed to do? Kneel." At this point, Chaoji lost his composure and said, "Are we the Chow family? Going to be the Ding family's dogs for all eternity." The Chow family, hearing this, fell into a stunned silence. Right then, a man knelt down and said, "Yes, we are the descendants of wicked traitors. Being their dogs is already good enough." His little aunt then spoke trembling. "Chaoju, do you want to get our whole family killed? Think about your parents." She continued to remind him how hard your mother has worked to support the family, while your father is so crazy. At this moment, his mother's trembling form remained silent. Chaoji, hearing this, said nothing. Immediately after, he pointed behind him and said, "Everyone look behind you, great-grandfather. Came to this secret realm to deal with the impending disaster. It's clear that because too many people attacked at that time, he sacrificed himself." He smiled and continued, "Before I was always gathering information about great-grandfather, but I still lacked conclusive evidence. At this moment, Chaoji immediately affirmed, but now I have enough proof. Great-grandfather was not a traitorous villain. It's completely different from what they've been spreading." His entire family listened silently to Chaoji's words. "As long as these truths are made public, our great-grandfather's name will be cleared. We absolutely don't have to keep living like this." He gritted his teeth and said, "The Ding family has no right to treat us like this." At this moment, he could finally speak forcefully and clearly. Grandfather's family, aunt's family, second uncle's family, none of them deserve to die like that. At this moment, the third Master Ding suddenly burst out laughing. "Childish, but that's how it is." Ding Shu walked forward and said, "What you said is completely true. Your great-grandfather died because he was ambushed. He really wasn't some kind of villain." Hearing this, his expression immediately became wary. He continued, "To be more precise, at that time, my great-grandfather became rich because he ambushed Chao An. That's how he made his fortune." He laughed scornfully in Chaoji's face and said, "Who cares about any of this?" Old Ding laughed gleefully. "Chao An was a traitor to the empire. He was an ugly, evil person." At this moment, their entire group burst out laughing along with him. He continued, "So what if I kill your crazy father? So what if I kill those people? All you descendants of traitors are just that pathetic." He pointed towards Chaoji's family and said, "In fact, even these family members of yours all know." At this moment, everyone in the family's face turned to fear. They didn't dare to face him. Hearing this, Chaoji's face was stunned. He laughed and continued, "Otherwise, how do you think the people you reported on died?" Third Master Ding then straightened his clothes and said with a smile, "Kneel." The entire family immediately obeyed and knelt before him. His mother also pleaded earnestly, "Aji, I'm begging you admit you're wrong. Don't resist anymore. It's useless." At this moment, her face was covered in tears as she said, "I really don't want to lose my son. Not after my husband went crazy." Her voice choked with sobs. "I really can't take it anymore." Hearing this, Chaoju stood there trembling with anger. He unconsciously remembered his mother's sunny smile. "Aji, don't mind those people. You are the best." At this moment, another guy suddenly laughed. Ding Shu was losing his patience. He immediately raised his foot to kick Chaoju, saying, "You're dawdling. Still don't get the picture. Huh, you'll kneel whether you want to or not." He suddenly raised his hand, blocking the other guy's kick. Right after that, Chaoju smoothly grabbed his leg and pulled it up. Next, he used his strength to throw him to the ground. Chaoju looked at them and said with determination, "I'm not kneeling anymore." Ding Shu huffed and puffed. He immediately took out his weapon and said, "An improvement. You dare to lay a hand on me?" He then charged, shouting loudly, "Let me remind you how to be a punching bag." But this time, he didn't hold back anymore. He punched him straight in the face. Ding Shu was stunned by the hit, confused. "How can this be?" Xiaoji had also taken out his shield. He said softly, "Mom." He immediately punched the other guy in the face to vent his anger. "We are the descendants of heroes." Third Master Ding, seeing this, frowned in anger. "Oh!" Ding Shu, stunned from the beating, held his face. "How can this be?" He gritted his teeth, saying with envy, "How can even you suddenly get stronger?" He immediately lost his reason and charged to fight with Chao Ji. "You're clearly a punching bag. From childhood until now, you've always just been a punching bag." He swung his weapon wildly. "On what grounds?" But Chao Zhi easily punched him straight in the face, making his face slam into the ground. Chao Zhi looked down coldly and said, "I am no longer the me I used to be." In the mirror world, Yunqi was fighting with Ben Ben. Fighting him. Yunqi thought, "This is Ben Ben's peak form. Right now I'm still far weaker than him." At this moment he was activating his shield, preparing to attack. Yunqi silently calculated. If he wasn't a defensive class, plus the fact that he's unconscious right now, I would have been suppressed in an instant. He quickly retreated backward, so Yunche quickly jumped up, dodging Ben's attack. But the combat skills he has, I taught them to him. He then turned back to attack Ben, so I know his openings very well. However, in reality his strength points are still very high. After all its defensive power, after reaching a class change level higher than 60. Even if I stack my hissing blade technique, I can't do much damage. At this moment his entire body burst into intense flames. He quickly activated the legendary grade skill Golden Light Shield to dodge the flame. Yunchi frowned in annoyance. This is annoying. A fiery explosion erupted. Elsewhere outside, another battle was taking place. The other guy charged forward aggressively. A mongrel like you, mountain-toppling mace. Chaozu quickly blocked with his shield. Immediately after, he slapped the other guy. And just like that, in front of so many people, Chaozu charged and beat the other guy to a pulp. Over here, Third Master Ding started gathering his power, saying, "Ah, shoo. Now, you can't even beat that little Chao punk." He immediately rushed towards Chaozu, saying, "How about I vent some anger for you?" With incredible speed, his fist collided with Chaozu's shield. A dazzling light immediately appeared. He was startled. At this moment, a golden circle surrounded them, preventing him from charging in. He immediately recognized it. "This is the Golden Light Shield," Chaozu inside said. "You stand outside and watch. What hero family? You're just a bunch of cowards who don't even dare to fight one-on-one." Just like that, he continuously attacked. A brilliant light shone. On the other side, Yunche was also fighting. He jumped up. Golden Light Shield as a legendary grade skill? Shield. Its defensive power is not related to the user's defense stat. Yunchi quickly charged down. As long as it doesn't receive a hit, exceeding twice its upper limit, it can withstand at least 10 attacks. A brilliant golden light enveloped them. At the same time, it's also a consumable skill. At this moment, the golden light gradually showed signs of shattering. Even the smallest damage will consume its energy. Immediately after the defensive layer shattered, after its energy is depleted, any 10 accumulated attacks will break it. He angrily muttered, "Little mutt. So what if you have the Golden Light Shield?" He looked down at him and said, "The trash that Chao An used, I don't even give it a second thought." But Chaozu was not discouraged and said, "If my great-grandfather were still here, you would just be kneeling and begging for mercy." Hearing this, he immediately launched an all-out attack. Chaozu immediately used his shield to protect himself, but Ding Shu was pushed forward. He sneered, relying on a good-for-nothing who died in a low-level secret realm. Third Master Ding stomped on the ground and said, "If he were to come." At this moment, the ground immediately shattered and rose up, gravity crush. He continued, he'd have to kneel too. Immediately, Chaozu's entire body was covered in injuries. Blood flowed from his mouth and body. He approached holding his weapon like a demon. "But after I cut off your 2 legs, I don't know how you'll stand." He immediately jumped up preparing to attack. His mother suddenly ran out saying, "Third Master, Chaozu is still young and doesn't know any better. Please spare him." She sobbed, chuckled and said, "I'm already kneeling before you. You can do whatever you want with me." Seeing this, the old man chuckled and said, "If that's the case, how about this, you little punk?" Facing Chaozu's unwilling expression, the old man continued, "If you don't kneel, I'll chop your damn head off." He suddenly changed his mind and said, "Never mind. After all, there are plenty of others I can chop up." The man named Ding swung his weapon backward. Seeing this, he immediately became anxious. "Wait, and then a tremor rang out. The dust in front of them obscured their vision. Everyone present saw the scene before them and gasped in astonishment. The man named Ding stared stunned at what he saw. A phantom image had appeared. He stammered, "Your Chaoan." Chaozu's mother saw this and stammered, "Ancestor." The others also said in fear, "Chaoan has appeared again." "No way. How is this possible? How can a dead person come back to life?" On the other side, Chaozu's family also muttered, "That form looks more like an undead spirit." Yunchi's voice rang out. "You all looked down on him so much before." He now stood beside Chaoan's undead spirit, so he had no choice but to crawl back from hell, to settle the score with you all. At this moment, everyone present stared in stunned silence at the undead spirit before them. No one could believe their eyes. The old man Ding on the other side just laughed and said, "Putting on a show. Get him, men." Upon his command, they immediately charged with their weapons. They frantically attacked together, aiming their weapons at the undead spirit's shield. The undead spirit was surrounded by the group, but showed no signs of weakening. They continuously attacked from all directions towards the undead spirit of Chaoan. Chaozu's grandfather saw this and was amazed. "So strong. Is that really Chaoan?" Seeing the opponent's technique, Chaozu's eyes also widened in astonishment. This interception technique, it can actually block so many soldiers at once. It's incredible. On the other side, the old man still spoke with confidence. "This is the spirit you summoned, right? My family used to summon a whole bunch of this kind of riffraff. The third family head held his weapon and said with a laugh, "It's only level 30. He immediately leaped up and slashed at Chao An's undead spirit. Just a small fry. But as soon as his weapon struck, it was immediately covered in a sticky slime, radiating a dark aura. Seeing this, the third family head was stunned. Two streams of mana clashed. The old man's hand gathered a stream of mana. Fighting technique. Next he swung and struck. Under absolute power, everything else is useless. Instantly, the summoning clash skill was activated. The third family head smiled confidently. He charged in for direct hand-to-hand combat with the undead spirit. But right after a cold golden ring of light sent him flying. The third family head was annoyed. "It's the diamond shield again." Yunchi spoke up from behind Bobo. "Even as an undead spirit, Bobo is an S-rank undead spirit. Now the diamond shield is enough to keep you busy for a good while." At this point, he said to the others, "Charge together. We can drain its energy in no time." But as soon as he turned, he froze. His subordinates were now surrounded by another group of undead spirits who were attacking them. At this point, the third family head began to enhance his body. This is a bit troublesome. His entire body immediately erupted in blazing red flames. Raging blaze. Chao An is fine. The undead spirit is whatever. They're just a bunch of summons. He quickly charged, wanting to attack Yun Che. "I just need to kill the summoner. You and the summons will naturally disappear." The third family head's hand now transformed into a sharp claw. He thought confidently to himself, "I have a full set of high-grade equipment given to me by my great-grandfather. You think you can fight me with just that?" Right after, unexpectedly, Yunchi vanished from that spot completely unscathed. The third family head saw this and was confused. What the? How could he be completely unharmed? He continued to attack the spot where he had been standing, but his image just vanished again. He saw this and his eyes widened. He's gone, because right after Yun Che suddenly appeared above, he immediately plunged his sword into the third family head's back, catching him completely off guard. He immediately used his mana to blast Yun Che away. Yun Che looked over to Chao An and said softly, "Bobo." The undead spirit pulled out its sword. Immediately after, Yun Che used the undead spirit's sword as a launch pad, stepping on it. Chao An. In a single motion, he slashed across the third family head's body. The man looked at Yun Che and couldn't help but curse. But Yun Che quickly turned back. With a sharp gaze, he raised his sword. He continuously used his fastest speed, landing 10 slashes on the man's body. Immediately after, the third family head cried out in terror, "My arm!" His arm fell to the ground, severed. At this point, he immediately turned in panic and yelled, "Priest, heal me!" But before the third family head could find a way to restore his arm, Yunchi suddenly appeared. He immediately activated Gravity Strike. Rocks and earth shot up from below. He yelled, "Get lost!" Yunchi vanished again. Immediately after, he appeared in another location, like a phantom. He looked at the third family head and asked coldly, "How about it? Scared yet?" He didn't bother answering and just kept yelling, "Priest! Why aren't you healing me yet?" But on the other side, that priest had been attacked by the undead and was already dead. Just like that, all of his subordinates gradually fell to the ground, at the hands of the undead spirits. He stammered, "Since when?" Yun Chi stood among the undead spirits and said, "Do you still think my undead spirits have the same power? As when they were in your house?" Yun Chi activated the inverted evil spirit possession. He laughed and said, "Maintained by a legendary grade skill. They far surpass what your grave guards could ever handle." Undead Lord the Wanderer appeared. Seeing this, the man's face turned pale with fear. Immediately after, the third family head turned and fled, muttering, "Damn it, run." But just then, a massive sword plunged directly into the ground, blocking his escape route. He ran in another direction but was blocked again. It was only then that the third family head knew true fear and turned back to look. At this moment, from the ground beneath his feet, large figures emerged. Yunchi was now in his possessed state, and he said, "The exclusive skill of the sword guard class, absolute sword and shield formation." He walked towards the man and said, "Below S-rank. No one can escape this. You can try again." Just then the man took something out and said, "Don't come any closer." The third family head hurriedly continued, "In my hand is a void bomb. This is an S-rank item my father gave me. If it explodes based on the amount of health at your level, you're dead for sure." His expression didn't change at all. He looked calmly at the man. Yunchi said casually, "Detonate it." Hearing this, the man yelled in panic, "Are you trying to die?" "Based on my health, even if it explodes, I can survive." But the undead spirit continued to advance. "Even if you blow Bobo to bits, I can just resurrect him." In his possessed state, Yun Che used his fastest speed, appearing behind the man. "As for me," he swung his sword down with a cold gaze, "you won't even get the chance to detonate it." Yun Chi directly used his sword to sever the man's remaining arm. The void bomb fell to the ground. Yun Chi said coldly, "Kneel." At this point, the man had no arms left. He just knelt down silently in fear. Seeing this scene, Chaoju was overjoyed. On the other side, Ding Shu, who had been beaten to a pulp, looked on crying. Yunqi stepped on the man's back contemptuously. He asked mockingly, "Tell me, do you think you have any value left?" A moment later, Yunqi opened his inventory to check. Quite a bit of miscellaneous stuff here. There are even hundreds of life potions. He checked the item's stats. Life potion restores 100 health over 10 seconds. Effect cannot be stacked. He looked at the item and said, "But based on the recovery speed of this life potion, even if you had used it back then, it would have been a drop in the bucket." At this moment, Yunqi looked over at the undead spirit on the other side and said, "And you still would have died." He recalled that moment. After killing him, his soul appeared in the mirror world, so he conveniently collected him as an undead spirit. Yunqi thought to himself, "So I really can supplement my high-level undead by killing people." Then he looked at Ding Shu, who was lying on the ground foaming at the mouth. "But I'll spare his life for now. He'll be useful later." At this time, Chaoju's family secretly watched Yunqi from a distance and said, "He looks so young, yet he's so powerful." He looked at Chaoju and his mother and said, "Was he the one who guided Aziz? Aziz's inner strength has really grown a lot." At this point, his family asked worriedly, "But what will happen to us now?" He worried, "The third family head is dead. The Ding family will definitely take revenge. We're dead for sure." The more he spoke, the more afraid he became. Even if that young man is strong to move against a hero, there's absolutely no way to survive. The hero who could kill our ancestor 15 years ago is only stronger now. That's all. Yunqi on this side also understood this clearly and thought, exactly. If what happened here is exposed, I won't have much time to level up and increase my strength. He thought of that so-called hero. I must level up quickly to be strong enough to deal with that Ding-kun. At the same time, the system continuously announced that Yunqi had leveled up. Hearing this, he was a bit surprised. "I've leveled up, huh?" Thinking of this, Yunqi immediately commanded the undead spirits to fly off. It seems sending those undead spirits to kill monsters is quite effective. Following that, the undead spirits began killing monsters. Yunqi thought, based on the level and equipment of the undead spirits, they can completely dominate this place right now. And so all the monsters were easily defeated by the undead spirits. Yunqi also felt that this secret realm was no longer enough to support his rapid leveling process. At this moment, he was thinking through the eyes of the undead spirit Chao An, so I must send them away. There is also a more important reason. Right now, the undead spirit Chao An had also found the leader of this secret realm. Immediately after, the undead spirit immediately charged forward to ambush the monster. Unlike the wandering lord, this hidden boss, the secret realm's lord is the core of the entire secret realm. And so the undead spirit Chao An charged forward, activating the absolute sword and shield domain. As long as I kill it, the entire secret realm will be conquered. Then the secret realm will naturally disappear from this place. The entrance to this secret realm was guarded by teachers. Previously, the Chao family was brought into the secret realm by old Ding III. They were definitely seen. If the Chao family were to leave alone now, they would definitely be suspected. Therefore, the only way is to directly conquer the secret realm and make it disappear. Then the Chao family can escape during the chaos. And so the undead spirit Chao An continuously attacked the secret realm's leader. This way, the Ding family will have no way of confirming the death of old Ding III. This can buy me some time. Immediately after he leveled up again, the system announced that he had defeated the secret realm's lord. Secret realm conquered. As soon as the announcement finished, the people here felt something strange. They cried out, "The secret realm is starting to disappear." Yunqi walked over and said to them, "The disappearance of the secret realm will cause chaos. With the disappearance of old Ding III, the Ding family won't react quickly." He turned and said to them, "After everyone leaves during the chaos, there won't be any danger for a short time." Yunqi continued, his eyes calm. "But if you're really investigated and pressured, just blame it all on me." The people there were stunned to hear that. And so the scene of the secret realm gradually faded. At the same time, Yunqi recalled his undead spirits. Just then, the progress bar for the mirror world appeared again. He was surprised to see it. A series of Yunqi's points were added along with new items. Seeing this, he thought to himself, so the experience points needed to level up the mirror world. To level 3 can only be obtained by killing secret realm lords. The mirror world, the last level up, gave me a huge boost. If I level it up again, then surely I can quickly close the gap with Ding-kun. Outside, the group guarding the gate of the secret realm looked serious. The man couldn't help but sigh. "Do we need to be so serious?" He rubbed his head and said, "What for? Who would dare to intrude on this private secret realm? We might as well sneak in a game of cards." But just then, Yunqi suddenly appeared behind him. A sound. Following that, Yunqi walked into the gate. The man sensed something strange and turned to look back. He wondered, why did I feel like someone was behind me? Was I mistaken? Yunchi had already entered the gate by now. He calculated civilian guards, level 30 at most. So these private secret realms have almost no defense against me. And so Yunche passed through without any obstacles. The further he went, Yunche told himself almost there, and so the others panicked and were startled. They looked in Yunche's direction, but could do nothing. Almost there. Yunchi thought to himself, I'm about to kill that bastard. But first I need to hold back. As Yunchi killed monsters inside the secret realms, he told himself to stay calm. His level kept increasing. He tried to tell himself, I must stay calm to avoid making mistakes. Yunchi continuously leveled up each time he killed monsters. And then again he killed another secret realm lord. His level rose by 1. After killing another monster, Yunche stood straight and looked up at the sky. Calm. In the daily newspapers, a series of announcements stated that private secret realms were being maliciously conquered. At the same time as those articles, the experience points for his mirror world skill also increased. 5,000 points each time. This repeated endlessly. Following that, a new article appeared. Recently, a secret realm vandal has appeared. Many private secret realms have been maliciously and stealthily conquered. The Public Security Bureau is taking this matter very seriously and has dispatched high-ranking police officers to investigate. At this time, somewhere else, they were reading the newspaper and someone spoke up. Was this done by that Yunche kid? Grandpa Chow looked down at the newspaper, also surprised. So many secret realms suddenly conquered. It must be related to the conquered secret realm that we went to last time. Thinking of this, he grew tense and broke out in a sweat. This way, the Ding family's attention will be drawn to him. Immediately after Mr. Chow realized, he did this kind of thing for us. Otherwise, we definitely wouldn't have been able to escape that place. After reading the article, the second son of the Chow family said, this place is far from the Ding family's home. A few days' journey and very secluded. It was so difficult to cover our tracks without leaving a trace. He was bewildered and anxious. And yet, on the other side, two people were talking joyfully. Now that we're here, we don't have to worry anymore. That's right, we're finally safe. We might have actually escaped the Ding family. But just then, a loud noise suddenly erupted outside. An explosion made all 4 of them jump and turn around. From outside, figures approached saying, escape us. The one who arrived was Ding Hao II. Family head, he said contemptuously. You guys think we would chase after some criminal? Is that it? Even if you have no connection to the criminal, just for daring to flee from the Ding family. He looked at them fiercely and said, I had to come and greet you. Besides, aren't you underestimating the hero's family a little? He stepped down and walked inside, saying, not to mention you delusional traitors. He yelled angrily. Even the whereabouts of that criminal have been traced. Meanwhile, Yunche was at the gate of another secret realm, the hero's secret realm. By now, Yunche had reached level 42. He stood with his hands in his pockets and said, Ding-kun, I'm here for you. Yunchi gazed into the distance deep in thought. The private secret realms I previously conquered had monsters of at most level 30. The efficiency of leveling up further has really dropped. But higher-level secret realms like the hero's secret realm are managed by the state with the military guarding a 2-kilometer radius. No one can get close. And this time entering the mirror world, I can only scout within a 200 range. It's impossible to sneak into these secret realms without being detected. Looks like I can only rely on her. Yunsha's eyes glinted playfully. So you asked me here because you want me to take you in, not happening. I don't know how much you understand about her identity, but even for her, without a pass you can't get in. As soon as Yunsha finished speaking, Yunchi immediately took out 2 passes and held them up. Yunsha took the pass, a confused look on her face. You were prepared? A temporary pass. It requires someone to escort you to avoid inspection. So you bypassed the Ding family and want to enter this secret realm undetected. Why? He pointed towards the secret realm, his voice hesitant. She was in that traitor's secret realm. She also saw Chaoan's form. If Chaoan isn't as evil as the propaganda says, then maybe there's something wrong with the past betrayal event. I want to help my friend help the Chao family clear their name. I want to find the hero and confront him. Yunsha frowned and spoke helplessly. Do you think she's an idiot? She has no relation to him. Why would she offend a hero for some Chaoan? That aside, you snuck into the Ding family's residence earlier. Did you somehow predict the Chaoan situation and steal this pass in advance? Besides, not long ago, old Ding in that traitor's secret realm, it was because he was looking for trouble with you and Chaoan. But then he went missing and still hasn't been found. You clearly don't seem like you're just looking to confront a hero. Yunsha moved closer and lowered her voice, continuing. It's more like you have hostile intentions towards the hero. Then there's your name, Yunche, surname Yun. Could you be related to that traitor Yunche from back then? He shrugged, feigning innocence, and replied, Isn't your surname also Yun? Could you also be related to the traitor Yun-Chi? Hearing this, Yun-Sha quickly denied it. She doesn't do things like that. Yun-Sha lowered her eyes, a hint of sadness on her face. Actually, her surname isn't Yun. She just didn't want to be bothered, so she changed her name. Yun-Chi's lips curled into a smile. Then how do you know my surname is really Yun? Yun-Sha retorted irritably. Aren't you afraid I'll expose you? This doesn't seem like the attitude of someone asking for help. I could just report you directly to the military? Then you'd be dead for sure. Yun-Chi bowed his head, slightly silent. A moment later, he looked up. His voice rang out decisive and firm. I believe she wouldn't do that. Yun-Sha stared at him, her eyes wide with surprise. Yun-Chi stepped closer, but she tried to back away. I believe that in the secret realm she wasn't worried about danger, and wouldn't help the Ding family on behalf of the students. This is a diary stolen from the Ding family. She can take a look. The descendants of the hero Ding-kun have done many evil deeds. Those people relying on being a hero's descendants, bully innocent girls, and do all sorts of disgusting things. Yun-Sha held the book and replied with a dismissive tone. Just for this. Then you've miscalculated. She doesn't care about that stuff. On the contrary, I thought you were level-headed. But you so easily place your life in her hands. You're so naive. You've never been betrayed, have you? Yun-Chi's eyes were filled with thought as he gave a faint smile, as if asking himself, betrayal. Yun-Sha crossed her arms and turned slightly. His voice was somewhat hesitant. Yun-Chi lowered his head, his face cold and expressionless. He slowly continued, whether I've experienced it or not, so what? I'm not so far gone that I can't trust others because of it. He strode forward confidently. Dry leaves swirled in the tense air. I believe even more that your nature isn't evil. Yun-Sha's face went pale, sweat pouring down like rain. You, on the other hand, don't seem like a good person. If you really trust her that much, then follow her. Let's see if I double-cross you and turn you in. Yun-Sha walked quickly, putting some distance between herself and Yun-Che. He followed silently behind. Yun-Sha pressed her lips together and glanced back. I can't believe it. To this day, she's still considered a good and trustworthy person. A hero has been waiting for several days. Is that Miss Sha? We've been instructed from above that Miss Yun-Sha can enter directly. But why isn't she with the old master Ding Dan? The old master just entered the secret realm. The one in the cloak is that her guard, Yun-Sha replied with a cold expression. Don't be suspicious. The person the old master mentioned when he entered the pass was temporarily stolen, so we must be extremely careful. Not suspicious of her, then what is this called? An interrogation. The other guy instinctively straightened up and hurriedly explained, of course not. Mainly we received intel that the criminal who's been maliciously conquering secret realms is also heading towards the hero's secret realm. Yun-Sha glanced at him with a smug inner smile. The other guy had a worried look on his face. He's also concerned for her safety. It's just following regulations. If the guard was swapped, Yun-Sha sighed in relief, having deflected the issue from herself. She turned and whispered, he insists on investigating that person. She moved closer and wrapped her arm around Yun-Che's neck, startling him. Fine, let them check. So, does he think she can't recognize her own guard? Maybe she's been replaced too. Or maybe we should investigate her as well. The guy's face went pale and he stammered, I wouldn't dare. If Miss Yun-Sha is so sure, then it must be fine. Please come in. She held her head high and walked proudly ahead. He followed silently behind. Entering the secret realm, Yun-Che sighed to himself. Her status seems to be higher than I imagined. Yun-Sha spoke with a firm tone. Based on your trust, I've brought you in this time. I don't care what you want to do. But that's it. I won't help you any further. Yun-Chi summoned a puppet. Thank you. She'll take it from here. What you do next? They won't suspect her anymore. Yun-Sha's face darkened and she gritted her teeth in response. Looks like you have some conscience. Her figure gradually disappeared. The system interface immediately announced Mirror World. This time I can finally use it. The ability after the Mirror World was upgraded to level 3. Notification from the system. You have used level 3 Mirror World. Expanded the anchor area of the secret realm's domain. Yun-Cha sank into thought. Mirror World. Level 3. It can copy the secret realm monsters from the real world. From now on, I can freely grind monsters in the Mirror World, without having to worry about being discovered. He stepped out. The system chimed again. You have left the Mirror World. Yun-Cha thought to himself. More importantly, even when I leave the Mirror World, the undead spirits can stay there and grind levels. For me, they actually built an entire city in a secret realm. During this time, I can first go and observe the surroundings. A magnificent city amidst a forest of tall, pointed towers. The majestic and silent scene held a sense of mystery. His gaze was distant, but his heart was in turmoil. According to the information in the Ding family's diary, that's where Ding-kun is. I know very little about him. I only know that he reached S-Rank 15 years ago. After that, it seems, he never showed his true strength in front of others. Even old Ding the Third wasn't sure. If I had more detailed intelligence, I would have a much better chance of dealing with him. In my past life, I knew everyone who reached S-Rank, but he just appeared out of nowhere. Yunchi turned around, his voice full of doubt. Does it know who he is? His bobo looked blank. Its dull eyes stared silently, unblinking. A moment later, it automatically walked in another direction. He was completely helpless. Still nothing, huh? It's clear that when the mirror world reached level 3, the intelligence of the undead spirits could also increase. Its increase was the most obvious among them, but it still hasn't reached a level where we can communicate. Perhaps if the mirror world continues to level up, Bobo will regain more of his consciousness. From the luxurious city, the sound of a typical argument echoed. He doted on the third son the most, so we can't just sit here and do nothing. Ding-an approached Ding-kun. The third son is now still missing. According to the Public Security Department's intel, that criminal actually dared to come near this hero's secret realm. He in his gleaming armor slowly sat up in silence, without making a sound. He was still muttering. To be able to capture the third son so silently, I'm afraid he's already at S-Rank. Of course. If I can get the class change certification... Suddenly a hand pierced through Ding-an's chest. Blood splattered everywhere as Ding-kun growled. You're this old? Couldn't even stop one kid and you still dare to tell me what to do? His eyes widened in horror, his face pale with pain. A cold glint flashed in his eyes. This kid just reached S-Rank and got the request for a class change, and he couldn't even take a single hit from me. It wasn't hard for him to keep a waste of space like him around. He was originally meant to take better care of his grandson. In the end, not only was the person lost, but he was also told to go clean up his mess. Do you know, losing my third brother is like losing a part of my family. And it even cost me a few years of my life, you know that. Ding Yan was extremely arrogant, sitting on top of a man. He ordered his wolves to attack the townspeople. Hurry up and loot! Loot them. The fierce wolves growled, causing a little girl to burst into terrified sobs. Ding Yan said disdainfully, once they're eaten, they're gone for good. A cloaked figure approached and made a suggestion in a low voice. Young master, your pets haven't had meat in days. How about... Meanwhile, Yun-che was hiding in a hidden corner, watching everything. Compared to this place, the Ding family outside, the secret realm is incredibly restrained. But his eyes turned fierce, radiating a chilling, killing intent. Do I have to reveal myself? As if suddenly realizing something, Yun-che turned around. Ben was seething with rage, his entire body, surrounded by streams of black energy. But Yun-che's eyes were sad and he lowered his voice. Even in a state like this, you still want to save people. Among the kids in the genius zone back then, you and Lan Kan were the kindest and the strongest. That's why I took you two as my students. Trained you, hoping that after you became stronger, you could help others. But in the end, it was I who harmed you and turned you into this. Suddenly, Ben spoke. Lan? Can... Yun-che was confused. What did you say? He asked in surprise. You're conscious. Ben struggled to say Lan Kan is Ding-kun. Hearing this, Yun-che was deeply shocked, his eyes wide. Elsewhere, Ding-kun heard the familiar name Yun-che. He assumed whoever was using this name was deliberately provoking him. I can't believe I'm hearing this name after so many years. A sinister smile spread across his face. Let me see who dares to impersonate my beloved master. Scene change. Ding Yan looked dotingly at his monsters. All of you are my good little babies. These past few days I've been busy taking care of my other pets. You're all starving, aren't you? Then he became frenzied, pointing at the people lying all over the ground. Children sat beside their injured relatives, crying nonstop. Ding Yan commanded maniacally. Anyway, these are things I'm tired of playing with. Eat them all. Then his monsters went berserk, pouncing on the innocent people. But suddenly they were cut down by slashes across their bodies. The one who appeared was Yun-che, the one who will destroy all evil. His cold eyes flashed with contempt. Looking at the sword in Ding-kun's hand, Yun-chi was shocked, his heart in turmoil. Lan Kan! How could you be Ding-kun? How can you be Ding-kun? A man stepped out to block for Ding Yan. Intruder! You really have no sense. Daring to come to a hero's territory to die. But Yun-che's eyes were still dazed. How could you be? The Ding-kun who raised this scum? Memories flooded back. Yun-che remembered when he was teaching them, because the power of professionals has surpassed the old rules. This is no longer the era of knights. But as a descendant of a knight, I still want to pass something on. Under my guidance, your strength will surely surpass that of ordinary professionals. If you still wish to learn from me, then you must remember these points. First, be humble. There is no difference between yourself and others. Be polite and respect everyone. But one time when receiving items, a child showed a dissatisfied attitude. He was then hit on the head by Yun-che as a lesson. After that, he took out other rewards as encouragement. Back to the present, Yun-chi was relentlessly cutting down the monsters. The mage couldn't believe it and yelled, "This attack power? How is that possible?" But in contrast, Yun-Che's face remained cold, carrying a hint of anger. He cursed under his breath. "This is all my level 30 equipment." And then Ding Yan gave another order. "You peasant, show him what a different level of power looks like." But no, Yun-Chi wasn't scared at all and continued to charge forward like a demon. He recalled the memories of what a knight should be. Second, no compassion. Be kind to the weak, especially the helpless. Always fight against violence and injustice with compassion. Back then I saved you all from this slave organization. You two were once victims, so you can understand the helplessness of the weak. You must make the most reasonable judgments in reality. He spoke with contempt, hitting our shadows. Must be making him very happy. If you like it, there's still plenty more for you to cut. Yun-Chi's eyes became even more furious and resentful. Ding Yan continued to taunt him. But you seem to always have that angry look on your face. Is it because of these lowly commoners? Well, that's interesting. I wonder after you're done cutting us down, when you find out the ones you cut down were them, what your expression will be. At the same time, the power of Yun-Che's sword increased relentlessly. He channeled all his emotions and charged forward, with a desire to cut them down. He was hit and cried out in terror. Impossible, how could you see through it? Yun-Chi remembered the rules. Third, be heroic. Be fearless and brave when facing the secret realm. Don't be a coward, you must fight for justice. Back then, the kids used to yell, "Old man, we almost died. That was seriously dangerous." He calmly replied, "Don't worry. Actually, I was always watching from the sidelines." Now Ding Yan clutched his wound and yelled, "This guy's a little strong. You piece of trash, don't you know how to use illusions? Stop him for me. Buy me some time to escape. If anything happens to me, my grandpa will deal with you." The cornered mage retorted, "I can't use illusions. Without them as a spell-casting professional, it's very difficult." The man started to panic, looking for Yun-Che's shadow. Where did he go? And in that very instant, Yun-Che appeared behind him. He struck quickly, his eyes sharp and without a hint of warmth. The mage fell begging, "Please spare me." "You want to go against the Ding family? Then you should be looking for Ding Yan." But Yun-Che still had a thought in his mind. Fourth, the spirit of sacrifice. Just then, Ben dragged Ding Yan back, despite his screams. "What the hell are you?" "I'm the hero's grandson. Touch me and I'll make sure your whole family never knows peace." Ding Yan started to panic and asked him, "What do you want to do with him?" Yun-Chi didn't answer, only affirmed to himself. Fifth is to be honest. The rules flashed through his mind continuously. Sixth is justice. The principles that a hero, a person of integrity, must have. Seventh is honor, and the final thing to be a true knight. Eighth is soul. At the same time, countless swords were unleashed, and then things gradually settled. Ding Yan was defeated. Yun-Chi stood on the wall and spoke. "Lan Kan, not only did you not listen to my teachings at all, but you also betrayed Ben, and yet you still condone your descendants doing such evil things. Why?" At that moment, Ding Kun appeared from behind, questioning, "What do you mean, why? There are many interesting things in my secret realm." The scene became chaotic with continuous explosions. Billowing smoke gradually obscured the view. At this moment, Yun-Chi was slowly recovering his spiritual energy. He spat out a mouthful of blood, his tone resentful. "Lan Kan, why?" Opposite him, Ding Kun approached. He chose silence. Yun-Chi suddenly pulled out a pile of items from his body. Seeing them, Ding Kun was puzzled. Mirrors. And then he charged forward like the wind appearing beside him. All his pent-up emotions were released in one punch. Yun-Chi roared, "Why did you betray me?" Ding Kun's mask slowly cracked. He was intrigued. "You can actually break my armor. Your speed and attack power are not ordinary, are they?" Yun-Chi's gaze turned solemn, filled with resentment. His whole body trembled, unable to believe it. "Lan Kan, why did you betray me?" Ding Kun gently rested his weapon on the ground. "Betrayal. You know my old name, too. Could it be that you were sent by that old man?" He attacked wildly, filled with disgust. Ding Kun's sword strikes were incredibly powerful and decisive. He sneered, trying to pretend to be my master. "That's a bit disgusting." Yun-Chi threw a punch, roaring, "I'm asking you why you betrayed me." Ding Kun was nonchalant. "You're just a tool, what's with all the talk?" The entire space was filled with enormous energy sources. The spot where they fought was a chaotic mess with boulders flying high. He summoned the sword and shield of the absolute domain. Yun-Che was confused. "Where is he?" Suddenly, at that moment, Ben blocked a blow, screaming, "Lan Kan." Ding Kun's expression flickered with surprise. He fell silent. The two of them clashed directly, the atmosphere tense. Ding Kun punched him in the face. Ben, how are you still alive? Tell me, how did you do it?" Ben gritted his teeth, using the golden light barrier to defend. He closed in on him, his eyes burning. At that moment, Ding Kun let out a sound full of disgust. He sneered, "An undead, even though you can be revived any number of times." You don't seem to have much of a mind. What a pity, Ding Jin asked. Father, the other 3 haven't come out yet. Ding Jin sneered. This kind of petty thief. We can handle him ourselves. Yunqi radiated an extremely contemptuous killing intent. Annoying. He summoned the undead and ordered, You guys go stop them! Ding Kun's face turned to horror as he softly uttered, Third brother. He looked at the undead before him who looked incredibly familiar. Ding Kun was in pain. This state. He's really dead then. My blood. I'm starting to get interested in you. Even though he died, he was resurrected as a... When Ding Kun attacked Yunqi nimbly dodged. He charged forward into frenzy. Master, prove to me that you're the master. You must be my beloved master. What do you want to ask? I'll answer everything. I won't hide anything from you. Yunqi replied, Clearly, when you were locked in the cage at the beginning, you were still able to help others. The power of the sword in Yunqi's hand increased. He shouted his question. So why in the world did you change into this? Ding Kun retorted. Isn't it because of you, my dear master? Yunqi roared, You. Because of whom were you able to escape your status as a slave? Because of whom were you able to become a powerful professional? What did I teach you? Hearing this, he laughed and asked back, Why? It's because you came to save me too late. Why did you make me endure so much suffering? Before coming to save me? Why as your student? But as the student of a knight's son. Could he live so comfortably? Everyone was so polite to me. Why that Chow Ben Ben, who never went through anything, could get that kind of treatment? Why was he stronger than me in everything he did? Why did you favor Xiao Ben Ben? Was it because he was born cleaner than me? Why did you make me change my class to Berserker? Because I'm a coward, so I have to become a Berserker. Shouldn't I have become a warrior for higher defense? After hearing the accusations, Yunqi replied, When did I ever show favoritism? Didn't you always perform well? Wanting to become braver, stronger, and all that. That's why I... Ding Kun interrupted. Isn't that because you liked that guy more? I clearly also showed effort and courage. But were you biased towards me? Really in your heart you just wished I had never been born right. Compassion, humility, ridiculous, the virtues of a knight. Did that help me live a better life? Isn't the treatment you get all because of power and status? I'm not like that fool Ben Ben, fooled by you to the point of stupidity wasting time, and the chance to level up to go save people. He continued, and you talk about betrayal. You could choose Ben Ben, so of course I can choose someone else. Your good brother, Luo Wei, can give me much higher status and power. Look at Ben Ben's descendants now, and look at my descendants. They can only be slaves under my Ding family. Look at your state now. Then go look at Luo Wei's state now. Now whose choice do you think was right? Suddenly Yunqi's body erupted with immense power. He roared, You are a heartless, wolfish piece of scum! Yunqi launched shards of glass at Ding Kun. Illusory images appeared continuously around his body. Yunqi flickered in and out of sight, leaving Ding Kun unable to defend. And then a straight punch from him slammed into his gut. Ding Kun let out a soft groan of pain, his armor shattering. Yunqi concluded, You really can't compare to Ben Ben. You can't even hold a candle to him. Opposite him, he laughed heartily. His steps caused the ground to sink and crack. And having completely lost his armor, Ding Kun met the condition of being unarmored. He activated the Berserker body and laughed loudly. You've admitted it. A system message displayed attack plus 300% speed plus 200%. The lower the health, the more attack and speed increase exponentially. Once done, he charged forward. You've admitted you were biased towards Ben, haven't you? Turns out you're a hypocrite. System display burst, Berserker only, increases strength, movement speed, attack speed, and resistance to abnormal statuses, but must reduce a portion of intelligence and defense. Yunqi was stunned, realizing he was in a precarious situation. This speed? The only way is to hide in the mirror world, because a single slash from him could tear the sky in half. Ding Kun realized, Master, you're using those mirrors to teleport and escape. Right? If there are no mirrors, you can't run, can you? Then the Berserker's exclusive skill, Raging Blood Dance, was activated. He immediately used Raging Blood Dance. A red rain fell from above. Come out and face me. Knights are supposed to be brave, right? Practice the knightly virtues you taught. At this moment, Ding Kun was like a madman. His power was increased. HP 11, Berserker body activated. Attack and speed increased. Now all that remained in Ding Kun's eyes was death, just as I thought. You only preach morality when you're safe. A pampered rich boy. Who's never tasted hardship? What the hell do you know? You've never suffered my pain. And yet you talk about compassion. He charged forward and threw a punch, but Yunqi dodged. Ding Kun was furious. He insulted him. You're just getting off on your own emotions. And you still think your friends and students will always support you, naive. To the point of being ridiculous. Then he unleashed his skill, Blood Chi Violent Blade. Yunqi was hit by Ding Kun's attack, coughed up blood, and lost half his health bar. He flew backwards, creating a huge explosion. Now his system displayed the word dying. Seeing this, he scoffed, "Look at your pathetic state. Without your mirrors, you're so weak," making him struggle to use a healing potion. At this moment, as Ding-kun walked towards Yun-che, he said, "And you're just barely hanging on from the damage of the blood rain." As he approached, Yun-che grabbed his sword and charged, but he was easily blocked by Ding-kun. "You weren't this weak before. That's the price of naivety. You should thank us." Then Yun-che had no choice but to pull out a dagger and stab straight at him. But he blocked it with one hand and challenged. Only through betrayal can one mature. Falling from the peak to the mortal world. Must be painful, right? Seeing that Ding-kun had him cornered, Yun-che summoned another sword. But he was pushed away by him. He said, "Knowing that Luo Wei has become the supreme king, revered by the world, while you became a traitor despised by all." As he spoke, Ding-kun shattered Yun-che's sword with all his might and sent him flying with a sneer. "You must be very jealous, right?" He laughed with delight, seeing Yun-che's blood dwindling. Ding-kun advanced, threatening, "Your blood is about to run out. Here, your only path to survival hangs in my hands. As long as you're willing to confess your sins and kneel and beg for mercy, I can still keep you as a pet. Of course, the condition is that you tell me the secret of resurrection." However, Yun-che continued to stand up and confront him. "I was wrong. Wrong to have saved you from that slave cage back then. Wrong to have trusted wolf-hearted scum like you. Level up." Ding-kun was baffled by his recovery. At this point, Yun-che continued to speak. "Wrong to think that just by charging ahead people would respect me. Wrong to think that good people wouldn't change." At this moment, the system displayed Aura of Haste, cost 50 MP, duration 60 seconds, increases speed of allies within 30 milos by 30%, around oneself. He kept saying, "and also wrong, too. Try to follow the knight's code." Along with that, he used Devil Possession, increasing his combat abilities. He sneered, "To deal with scum like you, I don't need morality." His eyes stared ahead, full of resentment. He charged forward constantly, saying, "I just need to clean you up at any cost." Then he wildly charged towards Ding-kun with his blade, slamming into him madly, hitting him until he had to drop his ego. But unexpectedly, he quickly regained the upper hand and even lectured him on fighting. "That's more like it." Ding-kun turned and gave a sinister smile, saying, "But master, I thought you just learned a trade that uses 2 swords. Turns out it's just holding 2 blades and slashing randomly. In a real fight, using a style you're not familiar with is suicide. You've forgotten everything you taught!" But in his moment of madness and hatred, Yun-che flashed, stunning Ding-kun. Then he appeared behind him again, and kneed him in the back. This made Ding-kun stumble and swing his blade wildly. "How can this be? Weren't all the mirrors destroyed?" Then he suddenly realized, "It's blood!" as his feet stepped into a pool of blood on the ground. Turns out you don't need intact mirrors. Just a reflective surface will do. Too bad for you, your plan was exposed. But after using this trick, you have no way to struggle. Ding-kun quickly gathered all the blood and sneered. "Now you have no more reflective items to use." Then suddenly he was stabbed from behind, causing him to cough up blood. Ding-kun turned around in shock and shouted, Ben, since when did you guys dare to sneak attack?" At this point, Yun-che summoned the undead and said, "With you, there's no need to talk about any knightly spirit." After setting up an undead matrix on all 4 sides, Yun-che stood from a distance, watching him struggle. His face darkened as he cursed, "Detestable, I just want you to die." Ding-kun was furious. A defeated foe from 65 years ago. He exploded with anger, roaring at Yun-che. "You can't even keep up with my current strength." He laughed maniacally. "The more injured I am, the stronger I get." Suddenly, Yun-che struck him in the back, causing him to lose his balance. As he staggered, Yun-che's eyes flashed with a sharp glint. "I've seen your opening clearly." Ding-kun was furious. He flew into a rage. Yun-che continued, "Your weakness as a berserker is twofold." He brought down his blade, slicing across Ding-kun's back. "One, your defense isn't high." Ding-kun was furious. He turned and swung his blade horizontally at Yun-che. But Yun-che dodged. He taunted, "Changing to the berserker class requires high attack and high speed." Yun-che forcefully stabbed into Ding-kun's back. Therefore, when allocating points, the defense attribute can't be increased too much. Ding-kun was covered in blood. His cold gaze swept over everyone. Yun-che's voice continued to ring out. "Also, many of your skills have side effects. That will reduce their effectiveness. Even a dry-bone spirit can injure you." Ding-kun roared, shaking the heavens and earth. "But these low-level undead, I just need to wipe them all out." Yun-che looked at Ding-kun, coughing up blood, his voice cold. "The second weakness is the limited number of area of effect attacks." Ding-kun raised his blade and swung it horizontally. Everywhere the blade passed, it left a deep red color, just like blood. Yun-che continued, "Besides whirlwind slash, before your class change, your only method of attack was a single path." He looked back at the green monsters standing behind him. My mana regeneration rate is also enough to maintain a certain number of undead. There's no way. You can clear them all out. Ding-kun angrily swung his fist forward. Who says I don't have an area of effect attack? Yunqi pointed upwards. The monsters immediately shot up into the air like a signal. Furthermore, your biggest foundation is that you have no one to rely on. The sharp sword point was stained with blood, Yunqi said. You and Ben used to work together very well, to the point where you could compensate for each other's weaknesses. But now, the shield that protected you has become a blade that attacks you. You who rose to power through betrayal probably don't have anyone close to you. Right. Before Ding-kun's furious gaze, he continued, Is this what you wanted? Ding-kun suddenly raised his blade and swung it horizontally at Yunqi's legs, but he dodged. Still talking about friendship and mutual support now, he screamed in despair, You were already dead, and I've enjoyed 65 years of power. He emphasized 65 years. He leaped high into the air, flying towards Yunqi. I was the one who was right. I don't need any so-called comrades. He called out loudly, My descendants, come out and face the enemy. Ding-jian, Ding-chang. Where have you all run off to? Ding-jian and Ding-chang flew out, calling father. Ding-kun was arrogant. I don't need comrades. My descendants will fight for me. Yunqi charged from behind. Is that so? This made Ding-kun slightly surprised and panicked. Then he swung his blade down. Ding-kun didn't have time to dodge and had one of his arms cut off. He roared in pain. Ding-jian and Ding-chang were terrified. Father. Ding-jian was a bit panicked. This person. Father actually lost. Ding-kun roared in pain. Quick, come stop him, heal me. All three of them, Ding-kun, Ding-jian, and Ding-chang, hesitated. Even you couldn't defeat him, how can we? Ding-kun was surprised. His eyes filled with disbelief as he looked at his descendants. Perhaps he never expected them to be so cowardly. He exploded with anger, his roar shaking the sky. I'll do it myself. Suddenly, he grabbed Ding-jin by the throat, terrifying him. Father, what are you doing? He was furious. Everything you have, I gave you. What was the point of giving birth to you? That's right, you are all my health and my lifespan. And you dare to refuse me? He looked towards Ding-jian and Ding-chang. You two go stop him. Otherwise, you can both die with him. His cold gaze swept over Ding-jian and Ding-chang. Suddenly, a swarm of monsters with glowing eyes flew towards them, staring intently. This startled them. Blue light continuously attacked Ding-kun, causing him to panic. He roared in pain. His eyes were vacant, mixed with fear. A red burst of power exploded, engulfing everything. Large boulders trembled. Ding-kun stood there, panting heavily on the rubble. Yunqi mocked, What, no more stamina? He said, Contrary to your appearance, in your soul you're still an old man. Come and enjoy some happy father-son time. Ding-kun was stunned. My son, you actually turned him into an undead? Yunqi laughed loudly, a look of satisfaction on his face. Ha ha! He chased after the fleeing Ding-kun. Still want to run now? He delivered a blow towards Ding-kun. Comrade! Then he delivered a second blow. Master! He struck a third blow, making Ding-kun cough up blood, his strength depleted. Children! He grabbed Ding-kun's head. You could have had all of this. Then he threw him down hard, making Ding-kun collapse. With vacant eyes, Yunqi looked down at Ding-kun. But now, all they have for you is hatred. Ding-kun lay flat on the ground. His body was drained of strength, completely defeated. Yunqi's voice continued to ring out. Face the dead end you've chosen.